From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 52 days till kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Arkansas Sports Network Media Day here at Baptist Prep. I am joined today by Randy Pickrell right here, and then we have head football coach for the Conway Christian Eagles and recent state champion, Mr. Justin Kramer. Feels weird saying that because he was my high school football coach, but I'm going to try my best not to make any inside jokes from that program. But it's great to have you here today, Coach. We had a great interview last offseason that we did. I really enjoyed talking just about the program, even though I know it like the back of my hand. But
Yes,
I want to talk just a little bit about just give me an overview of what's going on with the program right now, coming off the big state championship and having to replace all those seniors.
Yeah, we're in great shape. We've had a really good summer. We did lose a lot of seniors, but we had a lot of juniors that really contributed to that group too. So they've stepped up, been great leaders this year, kind of keeping it going as far as just the momentum on campus and just the things we do and the way we do it. It's nice when you have a group like that that's been such a core part of what we've done to continue doing things at least that same way with the same philosophy is nice because you just kind of get out of the way and let them do what they're going to do. So it's been great. We're excited and kind of ready to get rolling.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about who you've got coming back. Obviously, you got a lot to talk about when it comes to the graduating class that came through last year. So tell me a little bit about what's gone and what's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, we lost a lot of kind of regular starters, but fortunately, because of the situation that we were in offensively and defensively and platooning the way we do, we had a lot of guys that contributed a lot that are all coming back. And so, of course, we've got, Xander Stone at quarterback, and he didn't play quarterback last year, but he played a lot the year before and has done a great job, played a lot of receiver, which is nice to have a quarterback that's played some receiver that kind of understands that kind of stuff and consistent, high-discipline type guy. So we'll lean a lot on him. And, of course, running back, Caleb McKinney played quite a bit last year, and he'll be back and has that experience. And we've got those two linemen, Landon Stover and Maddox Jones, that I think Landon's actually started since 9th grade. We had to pull him up and help, so he'll be a 4-year starter, which is nice. And Maddox could have probably started as a 9th grader too. We just, at a school our size, you're trying to plug and play as best you can. So it'll be nice to have those two guys back for sure. And then Bo Campbell at inside linebacker kind of had to play as a sophomore with some injuries and ended up being an all-conference linebacker as a sophomore. So he'll be back as a 3-year starter. Kyle Kane will be back as a 3-year starter at receiver. Preston Elliott at safety. So we've got a lot of experience coming back.
So your cupboard's not bare.
No, sir, it's not bare. It's a little thinner, but it's not bare. The depth is maybe the thing that we don't have that we've had in the past.
That was the one thing I noticed last year. Y'all had a lot of depth.
Yes, sir.
And that helps in 2A football. I mean, when you can substitute in the players that y'all was doing last year with the quality of players that you was bringing off the bench that allowed you to do what you was able to do.
Yes, sir.
I mean, obviously, like I told you, I'm from Desert.
Yeah.
Y'all, in the second half, y'all just flat wore us out. I mean, that was where it went down.
Yes, sir, yeah. And that was the advantage that we had that we'll see if we have. We have 0 juniors right now on the team. So it's a lot of seniors and then a lot of sophomores.
Yeah.
And the sophomores, as freshmen, had a really good group. There are a lot of skill kids in that grade. They're just, at this point, kind of untested on the high school level, but they're definitely competitive. They're athletes. They're hard workers. So we'll just kind of see. It's kind of fun to see how that's going to all all play out.
You spoke about bringing ninth graders up. A lot of times that works. A lot of times that causes friction
Right.
amongst parents. Well, my little Johnny's a senior. He's not getting to play this ninth grade. Well, I mean, obviously in small towns like our schools like yours and ours, you have to do what you got to do to win games. You're there to win games and
Yes, sir.
create young men.
And I've not done that a lot in my career. As a matter of fact, I think that's maybe the second or third time we've pulled a ninth grader up. Certainly, it's only the second time I can think of that I did it that early in a season. But it was a situation where we had to. We literally, well, you were there. We literally had.
I played right next to him.
Literally 3 or 4 linemen. So it was him or converting a running back or something.
It wasn't going to be any good for the running back.
Right. So fortunately, in that situation, most of the parents were glad.
They was glad to have that happen. I understand. You know, sometimes you get that talent that's just outstanding in the ninth grade, and he's not going to get any better playing junior high kids.
Yeah. He was all-state lineman. He deserved it for sure.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. Obviously, I was talking to Randy over here. He said that for a while people just thought of Conway Christian as a bye week because we had 13 players on an 11-man football team or something like that. Yeah. So tell me about the turnaround and how that worked out. I kind of know the answer to this question, but tell for people who don't know, just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and that's a hard question for me to answer, really, in the way that people want me to answer it. In that, the reality is, it matters. It was hard. It was hard to have that few people, but the way we try to do things, and I say we because our coaches are 100% on board. Like, the way we try to do things is more about that, how we're doing it, what we're doing, the things we're talking, trying to use football as the best opportunity we can to teach life lessons and what godly manhood looks like for us. And if that's the case, and if that's truly who you are, then you're 0-9 or you're 14-0 and you 40 kids or you're 15 kids, the lessons stay the same. Sometimes they're not as fun to teach, but I think that's the key. I think too many times, and this is probably not a fan favorite answer, but too many times we get hung up on what the scoreboard says, and it's not that it doesn't matter. It's a game. They keep score. It matters. I mean, there's officials. Kids are playing their hearts out. It matters. It's not that it doesn't matter. I just don't know that it matters as much as we like to make it matter sometimes. And if you do all of that and you win and you're quote unquote successful, but you miss those opportunities, and I think for me, I would feel like I had done a disservice to the kids that played for me. So we've always tried to focus on that. And like I said, honestly, sometimes it's easier than others. But I just think if you're doing things that way for that reason, then all the other stuff just kind of takes care of itself. And when you have opportunities to be successful, and then it's great. When you don't, then it's great, but you can still get something out of it. Otherwise, you're just,
going through the motions.
You're just losing and going through the motions. And
so you said you have 0 juniors. I mean, is the junior class in the school that small, or is it just not many kids that are interested?
Yeah, no, it's that small. When they were 7th graders, I think there was only 1 or 2 boys in the school.
Yeah, that's pretty small.
And there's a few more now. They're just not football kids.
Right.
They've got other things they're passionate about, which is
fine.
Great. Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. Everybody's not a football player.
No, and they don't have to be.
You're right.
It's just where we're at. So we've got a lot of seniors and a lot of sophomores, and we'll just see what happens.
Well, like I say, your team earned my respect last year. I mean, you had a great team on the field, and they carried themselves well. So, I mean, they wasn't buttholes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. They was good kids.
Yeah, thank you.
I watch a bunch of football, and, I mean, there's some teams that I wouldn't say that about.
Right, yes, sir.
So I know these two things kind of go hand in hand, so I'll make this the last question before we get Xander and Caleb over here. Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about the culture of the program and how you kind of use football to better develop these guys into young men.
Well, I don't have an answer, a magical answer to that. That's going to be 30-second clip for. I'll just say this: that it's not just what I do; it's what our coaches do, and I get support from our parents and from our administration, and it's just who we are. It's our whole motto is 28-7, and I'm not going to, or the athletic motto is 28-7. Football is keep the code. I'm not going to get into all that, but it's literally about relationships, and to me that's what it comes down to is the relationships that we have in our life, whether that's with God, with family, with our teammates, with the program that we represent, with the school that we represent. However we handle those relationships, whether we add value to them or we take value away from them, whether we lean on them when we need support or we provide support to those when they need us, and then how we do life with those groups of people. It just matters. Otherwise, you're just waking up because it's Tuesday and you're doing a Tuesday, and there's no point in that. And so for us, we just talk about living a life of purpose on purpose, have some goals that you want for yourself, figure out some steps to take to those. If you need help with those, find some people to help you, and then do the best you can to maintain those relationships and treat those relationships with respect, add value to those relationships. And at the end of the day, you're going to be better off. The people that you're around are going to be positively impacted by being around you, and that's, I think that's what real success looks like. If you can win some games along the way, man, that's cool too.
Yeah.
That's icing on the cake, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So before they come over here, just give Xander and Caleb a short introduction.
Yeah, Xander's, like I said, he was a quarterback most of his 10th grade year, some of his junior year, a little bit off and on. He runs the offense phenomenally, probably one of the better quarterbacks I've had as far as really understanding what to do. His decision-making is honestly one of the best I've had as far as just knowing what to do with the ball. Extremely competitive, very gritty. Had a couple of huge catches last year that I told him on the way up here, the Mount Ida game, he basically won. He had 2 catches in that game that most people don't make. Well, the one across the middle, he jumped up straight into a safety's face. Most kids aren't even going to try and get that ball. So that talks a little bit about his character and his grit and what he's about. So you put that in a quarterback, and I think you've got a chance to be pretty successful. He's highly disciplined. Kids follow him. Other players follow him, respect him. He does everything right. So he's going to be great for that role. And then Caleb's just an old school football player, you know. I mean, I think you give him a steak and a football, he's probably pretty happy. You know, he just likes contact, embraces contact. So he's going to have a great year for us. I think he had 500 or 600 yards last year. Could have had a lot more. We had 3 kids rush for 1,000 yards last year. There's only 1 ball, you know. So he'll do a good job with all that. Hard to tackle, physical linebacker type kid. So they're both guys that we're going to depend heavily on, not just on the field but off the field, in the locker room, and kind of maintaining who we are. And they'll do a great job with that.
All right, we can go ahead and send them over. And Coach, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, Xander and Caleb, thank you for coming down here and talking to us today.
Absolutely.
I'll start with you, Xander. Tell me a little bit about what it's like playing for Coach Kramer.
I love playing Coach Kramer. I mean, I've been around him I started football in 9th grade, so been around him 4 years, I guess. I don't know. I'd be a lot different person right now if I didn't ever meet Coach Kramer in the first place. Heck of a football coach. I mean, I just love to be around him, and a lot of the guys do as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb, I know that you've only played for him in senior high for a year, but tell me a little bit about what your experience has been like playing for him.
I mean, he's a great coach, obviously, with coming to, when it comes to football and building character. He's a great man, helps you build character on and off the field. And, real good football coach, helps you out a lot. So.
Xander, tell me a little bit about your offense this year. I know Coach Kramer just talked about how knowledgeable you are of the offense and how well you understand the game of football. So just talk to us a little bit about what the offense is going to look like this year. Obviously, it's going to look a little bit different. Your skill set's a little bit different than Jaron Thomas. So
For sure.
Just tell me a little bit about what that's going to look like.
So, I mean, we were very run-heavy last year. I mean, as the numbers show, three runners over 1,000 yards, and this guy had 600. That's a lot of rushing yards. I mean, I don't really know how many passing yards we had, but it's going to be a little different this year, I'd say. With me, I mean, Jaron could just make a play. I mean, he was a playmaker. He could run, he could throw it a mile. I mean, I'm a little different than that. I can't throw it quite as far as he can, but I would say in the area of being able to make a read and make decisions, my skill set, that's where my skill set is at. So, I mean, just scanning the defense, like that's Coach Kramer will say that's what I'm going to do this year, and we'll see how productive we are, you know?
Yeah. Caleb, just tell me a little bit about how you see your role on the team this year. You know, Coach Kramer said he thought you could have had even bigger numbers than you did last year, but 3 rushers over 1,000 yards, and you didn't do too bad with 600 yourself. So tell me a little bit about how you see your role increasing on the team this season.
I mean, I got some pretty big shoes to fill behind DeMarcus and Aaron. They were 2 really good running backs, and my skill set's a little bit different. They were faster, could get up and down real fast. I'm not that way. I'm pretty not as fast, but I see my role as more of I think we're going to be passing a little bit. Got a real good quarterback, got good receivers, but whenever we do run, I'm going to have to, get those tough 5-6 yards carries. So that's what I see it as.
Talk to me a little bit about what the expectation is like and what you would consider a successful year this year for your team. Obviously, coming off a state championship, that probably changes things compared to where it has been. You guys have been on. You've been. I know Xander's been there. You were there for a little bit beforehand. You guys have seen what it's like for the program to not win many games, and then you've seen what it's like at the peak. And so,
sure.
Tell me a little bit about what the expectation is this season.
Well, I mean, as you know, Carson, playing in the system, I mean, we're going to come out there and every game's the same for us. We're going to go play, whoever beat them, it's going to be the same as if we go out there and we lose on a Friday night. We're going to play it the exact same way. And, I mean, I guess, we're going to go out there and see how the cards fall with every team we play. And we don't have an expectation, I'd say, of what a record looks like, but we're going to go out there and, we'll have a shot every Friday night. Just see where the cards fall. Yep.
I mean, just like he said, I agree with that. Just go play every game the same way, play to the best of our abilities, do what we can. So
I'll ask y'all one last question, then I'll let y'all go because we got a lot of we got Mayflower waiting on us out there. So are there any games on the schedule this season that you guys are really looking forward to playing?
I mean, like I just said, we don't really have a game circled. We're going to go out there, every Friday play as hard as we can. There's a few games every year that are always pretty high energy as they are. It's high school football. But, yeah, we're just going to go play, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to all of them. Mostly the first one, kicking off
same.
the season.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right, well, good to have you guys with us today. Really enjoyed talking to you guys and Coach Kramer as always.
Yep.
We're going to go to a commercial break real quick, and then we are going to get to the Mayflower Eagles, so stick around right here on the Arkansas Sports Network.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
It's so hot, you're gonna think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not gonna believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 52 days till kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
All right, well, I am here joined by Mr. Randy Pickrell of D3 Auto Sales again, and the head football coach for the Mayflower Eagles, Mr. Austin Emerson. Coach, good to have you with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
So just as we get started here, just give us a little bit of an overview of what's been going on with Mayflower football this offseason.
Man, we got the most kids out that we've ever had. We've got the strongest team that we've ever had. We've returned a lot of starters, so these guys have been pretty bought in. We've done a lot of 7-on-7s in June, and now it's time for some team camps, and then fall's going to be here before you know it.
How many kids you got?
On paper, 52.
Holy
but
smokes.
School hasn't started yet, so you never know.
You never know.
Never know. But, again, we had to buy more jerseys and more helmets.
That's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but it's an expensive thing.
It is that.
So tell me a little bit about you guys' schedule this season, what you guys are going to be doing in non-conference, and why you decided to schedule it that way, and then moving into conference, what your conference is going to look like.
Yeah, so non-conference, we got Jessieville, Bigelow, in England, and scheduled it that way to try to stay more centrally located. Years past, I've been there almost 8 years now, but we would drive just kind of all over. We were, down in Smackover some. We go west and north, and trying to find guys that I appreciate their head coaches a lot, that if they got the team to whoop us, they won't kill us too bad, and if I got the team to beat them, then I won't kill them too bad. We're kind of good friends there. And then as we roll into conference, I can't remember the exact order. I know we start with Mountain View. And then towards the end, we kind of pick up Salem and Atkins, who are returning everybody, and we kind of hit the top four of last year's conference towards the end of ours. So everybody in our conference is returning a lot of people, a lot of seniors. We are, so it should be a pretty good conference this year.
That trip to Salem, that's a pretty good one, isn't it?
Yeah, last year we got lucky. We had all the long teams came to us, but now it's time to return the favor, and we got to drive to all of them. So.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your senior class this year and who you guys are working with, and maybe just building on that too, who you guys have coming back, and then who you guys lost from last season.
So last year we lost, Trey Cockham was our starting quarterback, and he shared time with Carter Smith. They alternated. So Carter returns, Trey's gone. We lose Hugh Tees. We lost several linemen up front, but man, we return a lot. Like our whole defense is just about seniors except for a couple kids. Same thing offensively. We'll have a lot of seniors. We'll have a couple of younger guys on the O-line, but skill guy-wise, we return everybody. We lose our running back last year, Devon Davis. He was an all-state player, really good, but we're going to move one of the receivers back there that's pretty good in that same spot. And hopefully it's plug and play, and we're able to keep it rolling.
Yeah, so tell me about what the Mayflower community is like, because I know it's not the smallest town, but it's still a small town. And
Yeah.
so tell me a little bit about the community at Mayflower and what it's like playing under the Friday Night Lights in Mayflower.
Man, it's really fun. The past couple of years have been really fun because as we've gotten better and we've got more kids out, there's more fans in the stands. And really a couple of years ago, we had just a great senior class that, when we were playing, all the volleyball kids and basketball kids would come out and watch, and then our kids would go watch them. And that class a couple of years ago really helped kind of set the tone where now kids are coming out and watching if they're not on the team, and our kids are going to support other programs. So the whole culture has really grown in the past 2 or 3 years.
We've discussed that with everybody. That culture is a big word with every program, especially the small ones.
Yeah.
The bigger ones, the culture's good, but when you get to that 4A, 3A, 2A, culture's it.
Man,
if you don't have it, it's not
going to
how
it is. Small school football, I played it when I was in high school. It's fun that you can look up in the stands. You're not supposed to be looking in the stands as a player, but you look up there and see your friends cheering for you and all that stuff. Man, it makes you want to play hard.
Yeah. Talk to me a little bit about what your offense and defense will look like this year, just as far as X's and O's. If you guys are doing anything differently or maybe staying the same, just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, used to, I would give you a hard answer on that and say we are old school or spread, but now I'm to the point where I don't really care what we run as long as we win. So sometimes we're 4 wide, sometimes we're 2 tight ends, sometimes we got everybody in there. To me, as a former offensive lineman, I don't care what we run or what we do as long as we can get 4 to 5 yards every single play.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
4 yards in a cloud of dust.
Talk to me a little bit about what you guys do during the off season to get ready for the season, as far as 7-on-7s, team camps, what you guys do in practice that separates yourself, weight room, all that stuff.
Well, we kind of switched our weight room around a couple years ago. Whenever we moved down to our new field house, we got enough space. So our school district did an awesome thing where they let all of our athletes lift weights during the school days. So, I mean, girls, boys, we're all down there. And they do, half the times doing athletic stuff, half the times lifting weights. So our kids are getting to lift year-round, which is helping, because I think every program in our school has made it to, like, the state playoffs or tournament or whatever it is that they've got in their season. So that's helped out tremendously. Football-wise in particular, we usually start throwing the ball around spring break. And if it's before that, if I have enough kids, like, this year I've got a lot that run basketball, so we didn't get to throw as much. But, we've got the indoor, so we can throw and catch a lot, and that's what kids like to do. So we just work on throwing routes, and then spring ball gets here, and we get our days in there, and then from spring ball we roll into June. We consider it like 7-on-7. So we just kind of do all 7-on-7s in June. Now we do team camps in July. Football season starts in August, and we're rolling.
So I'll ask you one more question, and then I'll have you send your guys up here. Just tell me a little bit about what you would consider a successful season for Mayflower this year.
Man, I think for us, we talked about it with the team a week ago, just kind of where they want to go, because we took time to just tell them, hey, it's your team, really. It's not Coach Emerson's team. It's not any of us. It's these guys' team. And where do they want to go? And, man, they want to grow to love each other, grow to be a family. And that stuff to me means more than anything. You could go 0-10, and you could have kids at 20 years back and look back and they love their time at Mayflower football. And they could go 10-0 and they could look back and love their time. But they also could go 10-0 and hate each other. And that's not what I want. I want these guys to have a good time playing football, so that when they look back, when they're my age, 36 years old, they look back and be like, man, I loved my time there. I love the guys. I still talk to the guys there and all that. So that's what we want to build at Mayflower.
All right, if you would, just go ahead and give an introduction to your guys over here that you brought with you.
Okay, so we got Devo Williams, Devontae Williams. He's a O-line, D-line. We got two guys that start both ways. He's one of them. Man, he's been one of our best linemen for a couple of years from his sophomore year on. He was an All-Stater last year. He is just a force to be reckoned with on the defensive side of the ball, and then when he's on the offensive side, he's one of our best blockers. I think he had like 60-something pancakes last year, which led our team. I mean, it kind of makes me mad because he pancakes people so good that referees sometimes say, watch too physical, and they throw a flag. I'm like, man, that's football. It's
it's no too physical, right?
Yeah, you would think that. But I'll tell you, we get something like that. And then we got Carter Smith, our quarterback, returning this year. Carter, man, he knows the offense as well as I do. I trust him to call any play he wants out there. If I call something and he changes it, he knows he's got the freedom to do it as long as he executes it. And even if it doesn't execute, I just trust him to have the keys to the race car.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you for being here and talking to us, and I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to your guys here.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right, do you prefer Devo or Devontae?
Devo.
Devo? Okay, so Devo and Carter, great to have you guys here. Tell me, each of you, just tell me a little bit about what it's like playing for Coach Emerson.
To me, growing up, I never really had a father figure, so I think that he's impacted me so much as becoming a young man. This is my last football season, and I think that he has just grown me to be who I am today. He's played a big role in that, and I think that I wouldn't be here without him. I can't ask for a better man, a better coach.
Yeah, I really love Coach Emerson. He's a very good coach in my opinion. He lets you be free with what you want to do. He doesn't really set too many limitations on you, and I really like that. And other than that, that's all I can really say.
So, Devo, tell me a little bit about the offensive line unit for Mayflower this year, what it's going to look like. I know that Hugh Tees was a really big part of that last season. Now he's graduated. So tell me a little bit about what that offensive line is going to look like this year as a unit.
They had me playing right tackle last year. This year they moved me over to left tackle. And I matched up with my left guard. Me and him have always had a close bond. I think that would be pretty good. On and off the field, we're always with each other. So I think that would be good for a game. We have a returning center. Our center returning, he's pretty good. Our right guard, he's a upcoming sophomore, and we've all done a lot of investing into him. So I think that I could trust him. We all trust him to go out there and do his job. He's pretty physical. He just a little more. It comes with experience, That's a big thing, experience. And I think that he'll get there. And then our right tackle is he took a year off last year. We all have things going on, but I think he's coming back stronger, better than ever. Ready to see him play.
Carter, tell me a little bit about the skill guys on that offense and what that's going to look like this year for the Eagles.
We returned a lot of our skill players. Like Coach Emerson said, it's all our same guys except the running back, and we moved one of our receivers over. And then we got one transfer in from Mabel that filled the receiver that went to running back spot. So pretty much all the same guys, and I really like them. I trust them 100%, and I think they're going to be really good and be solid for us.
Looking at your schedule this season, I know Coach Emerson has scheduled some tough guys in non-conference, tough teams in non-conference, but then going into conference, you guys don't have an easy schedule either. So tell me a little bit about your schedule this year, and if either of you have any games that you're really looking forward to specifically.
I personally think that in all three we have the best conference, the toughest conference to go through. Our whole conference is pretty senior heavy this year. Everyone has a lot of seniors, good seniors. I have two teams I'm really eager to play, really three, because last year we took two pretty tough losses towards the end of our season against Salem and Atkins. Salem only beating us by one, Atkins by a touchdown in overtime. I think I'm ready to play those two teams again, and then Quitman, I have a lot of friends there that I'm ready to play them. And last year, they didn't play us as close as what I thought they would have, but I think that they're even better this year, and I think it'll be a really good game.
Yeah, I think Salem will be a really good matchup for us. I'm really excited for that game. That's probably my biggest game on the schedule for me. They won the state championship this year or last year, and I think being that close with them says stuff about us, and it says that they're really good as well, and beating them would be a really good thing for our team.
Talk to me a little bit about what it's like playing in Mayflower and just growing up there and being a part of that community and just what the Friday Night Lights are like in Mayflower.
To me, I think that it's a very welcoming atmosphere. Everyone knows everyone. You always get a handshake from everyone that you know. It's welcoming, and it's just uplifting. It makes me. I'm happy that I get to go to Mayflower. I would get to wake up and say that I'm here in this community.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very welcoming environment. Like, we get a lot of people that come in from new schools and all that, and people that move in from out of town, whatever, and it doesn't really matter. It's just like they've been here their whole life almost after, a month or two. And I really think that's just a very big part of Mayflower, and it translates over to football when we have our transfers and kids that are coming up like of age to play varsity, and it's really good for us.
Yeah, back on what Carter said, that transfers, we have transfers coming in. After a week or two, they're ready to put it all on the line for us, and I think that says a lot about not only them as a person, but us as a team. We're all ready to lay down whatever we need to lay down to to see each other succeed. And I think that's a really good thing to have on the team.
Before I let you guys go here, tell me what would be a successful season for your team.
The goal is always to win a state title, but even outside of a state title, I think we all sat down and we discussed this about a week or two ago, that we all want to build a brotherhood. Outside of everything, a brotherhood, we all want to be family. We all want to stay in contact after, because, it's my senior year, and I want to go far. Last season here, I want to go out with a bang, but more than anything, I want everybody to feel accepted here. That's accepted, and people to have faith, have good faith. That's my goal for everyone.
Yeah, I would really like to win a state championship. Obviously, that's an obvious answer. But to go off what Devo said, I'd just like to have a fun year with my friends and make friends for life on this team.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. Really enjoyed talking to you guys and talking to your coach. We're gonna get things rolling here. We got Desart coming in, and me and Brad are gonna switch out, and we're not gonna go to commercial. We're just gonna go straight into it here.
Justin, when you get everything set, give me a thumbs up because Desark has that sponsor down at the bottom as well. Just let me know when you get that. All right, we got Desark Eagles here, and we're gonna go. Oh, we got a guy back there fired up. So Randy knows this about me, but you don't. I actually started school at Desark.
Oh wow! Okay,
I did.
Interesting.
My dad was the pastor of the church there, Assembly of God Church there, and I did. I started kindergarten and went to half of first grade at Desark. Awesome. We've done a few of your games, and I went and found a yearbook. Do you got that? Okay, good deal. We've done a few of your games. I found a yearbook of my kindergarten and first grade pictures. So.
His dad was one of my substitute teachers.
Okay,
yeah,
awesome,
yeah, right?
Awesome.
So anyway, Desark Eagles, man, you guys have had quite a bit of success over the last several years. You're a first-year head coach.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about just that feeling. What's that weight? What's the weight of expectations at Desark?
Yeah, so this is an extremely amazing opportunity for me to be able to take over with the Desark Eagles. I just finished my 5th year there as an assistant. Expectations have been high since I arrived as offensive coordinator. Expectations at Desark never change year to year, and it's something that we embrace. The community loves it. Our supporters love it. Our kids love it. Our coaches love it. And it's something that we embrace as a whole team. And we attack each day with that mentality.
We have a Desark sponsor there.
I think it's up there.
Yeah. Is it up there? Okay, yeah. I see it now. We're a little behind on that, so
okay.
I'm just making sure. This is, again, drinking from a fire hose, man. This is what this is like when you're doing this. We're trying to get everybody back on track. Ground and pound is what Desark is known for.
Yes,
so
hold on, now. We're swapping to the spread this year. I didn't know we're going to announce that today.
I don't know what's been told around town, but
so I assume that's where you're going with it. You're going to stay with the well, you were the offensive coordinator,
yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
You know, last year we watched you play Mark Tree, and you know, there was something that I felt like called the ASN curse, because every time we were in the building, you guys didn't play very well.
Right.
And I felt like that was broken last week or last year. You guys did y'all had a great game against Mark Tree. Tell us what you think about this year and what you're thinking about your team.
So coming into the year, the numbers are as high as they've ever been. We're looking at 32 on the team with 15 seniors. It's the most seniors that we've had coming into a season since I've been here. These guys have laid the foundation throughout the offseason and into the beginning of the summer. We talk about all the time being great leaders, holding everybody accountable as a senior group. And these guys are doing a great job right now. And it starts up top. It starts with our seniors down to our sophomores, and they've done a great job so far this summer of laying that foundation, like I said. And then it's all about us. We're focusing on us. Everybody wants to talk about what game you're excited for, playoffs, state championship. We're worried about us each and every day. That's all we need to worry about, and go week by week. Day by day, and then once we get into week 1 against Hazen, then that's all we're worried about.
I mean, most of these kids have played together since the first grade.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean,
yes,
we
sir.
got
yes, sir.
continuity amongst the players. I mean, they've been
doubt.
together.
Yep.
They know what's going on. They know what's expected.
They've grown up on Friday nights watching the guys 10 years ago dominate on the field in the green and white and with the eagle head, and you know, they love it. It's something that we talk about all the time, is laying that foundation and continuing the brotherhood. Our mantra is our brotherhood. We have coaches that are from Desark. They've been through the brotherhood. They know how to protect it. And that's just what we're trying to show our kids, protect the brotherhood.
We've talked about culture with every team.
Right.
And the culture's pretty deep in Desark.
Yes, sir.
Well, football, you've got to have a culture. If you don't have a culture, you don't have anything in football.
That's right.
Especially when everybody else has it too, you know.
Sure.
And of course, you know, people can come in and say they have culture. I mean, I get that. Sometimes culture falls apart, you know, mid-season when things don't go too well. And again, I've said this before in these interviews. Everybody thinks they're going to win every game when they come in here and talk. But, you know, there are certain teams that are going to do better than others. And and you guys have a tradition-rich culture there. Sure. That I feel like helps you guys turn that, go over and win games.
Sure. Yeah, and it starts with our expectations. The expectation every year is to win every game. Now, sometimes we fall short of that, but going in every game, our expectations to win, the community's expectations to win, staff within the school, administration, coaching staff, on down into our kids. That's our expectation, is to win. Now, sometimes, like you're saying, there are teams that play better than us, and maybe we don't meet our expectation. But for these kids and this coaching staff and this school and community, it's to win every game.
You play in the rough and tumble 2A too. I mean, if there is a tougher 2A conference, I'd like to find it. Because every year I feel like there's a team, maybe two teams that's left out that could make the playoffs in most other conferences.
Yes, sir. Yes. I joke with coaching buddies and people that ask me about my conference all the time that may not know necessarily about that northeast part of the state. I coached 4 years at Lone Oak in a 4A conference, and I've coached against more Power 5 Division I kids in that conference than I did any in 4A ball. It's a gauntlet every single week. Obviously, the heavy hitters are EPC, Mark Tree, and Cross County with what they return. But you throw a talented Earl team in there. You throw McCrory. They're one of our rivalries. We play them week 10. You can throw, when we go week 10 against McCrory, you can throw the record books out.
Everything out.
It's they're looking to beat the Des Arc Eagles, but obviously with the heavy hitters up top that you see in the playoffs every year, it's a gauntlet. Every week is a slobber knocker. That's why we always worry about us. We don't worry about everybody else.
Right.
We worry about us because we have to prepare week by week.
We want to thank RC Outdoor Services, tree trimming, removal, mowing, and hauling, Ronnie Goodman and Cornelius Earl for joining us here on the Des Arc portion of our Hometown Sports interviews here. We do appreciate them and appreciate Des Arc for coming in. You got 4 guys over here that we need to talk to.
Yes, sir.
So I'll tell you what. You bring in, do you have a certain order that needs to happen?
I already explained to him.
Gabe and Kane.
Gabe
first
and Kane.
up.
Yeah, so these first 2 guys, Gabe Berry, he's put on a lot of weight, and he's really been hitting the weight room hard. He's going to transition more to a defensive end role, and he's been our fullback for the past 2 years. He got hurt, which gave way for another player at our fullback, but they're going to rotate. It's going to be a 1-2 combo, so Gabe's going to be looking at that fullback defensive end, and then Kane Childers, he's going to work at our free safety and one of our slot backs. He really excelled this last year in a couple games. Got banged up on offense one game, but he's looking to have a breakout year at slot back.
All right, come on in, guys. Let's talk to you. Does the Des Arc green look like the backdrop? Kind of. That's all right. It is what it is, right? I mean, it just. Still see it. Yeah, that's all right. All right, guys. We were actually at the game that you got hurt, and the what's the young man that came in for you? What was his name?
Jamie Collins.
Jamie Collins. He had a heck of a ball game that game. Helped you guys win some games. I was impressed with you last year. Now, I know we're talking about last year, but I was so impressed with the physicality that I saw out of Des Arc. And, I mean, your offensive line was very good. I know we got some guys over there have to play offensive line. I know they're not punters, for sure. But anyway, you guys were very physical at the point of attack. Again, we talked about the ASN curse with Des Arc. You guys, every time that we had come to a Des Arc game, you guys didn't look very good. Y'all looked good that night. So we broke that curse now so we can move forward, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the 2025 Des Arc Eagles.
Go ahead, Kane.
There's not really much to say. We just take it day by day, every day. Get in the weight room.
Yeah. Like, just work.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's what it's about there at Des Arc. I know that for a fact. And, the type of offense that you run, you've got to be able to do that. You've got to be able to work. You've got to be able to be hard-nosed, grind it out. But we're talking offense. You guys are defensive guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Tell us a little bit about the Des Arc defense.
I mean, we're just going to – we've had some trouble in the past, but we're getting to where we need to be, and we're just going to do what we need to do this year and just compete. It's basically what Des Arc football is about.
We look quite a bit better on defense than last year. Our D-line's really big this year, like it always is.
Well, the thing about defense in today's game, it's not easy to play defense. I mean, you see the variation of offenses that you see, the spread offense. I mean, we watched EPC last year in the semifinals. I mean, those two running backs for EPC, they're dangerous. They're hard to stop. As you said, you're talking about D1 type of athletes. That's the type of athletes that you see. So when you say, well, we gave up a lot last year on defense, I mean, there's a reason for that. I mean, you don't just go out there and can't tackle somebody. You've been tackling people for years and years and years. There's something to be said about that. But what do you do against that style of athlete? What is it that you do in the 2A2 when you see the kid that runs a 4.4, the kid that's got a few offers from Division I schools or getting looks or whatever? What is it that how do you prepare for that?
Got to get hands to the ball.
You just got to do what you got to do. You got to get to them, man. I mean, I really don't know what to.
These guys, they're talkers, man. They're talkers.
Yeah, but you just gotta work, compete, and get to the ball. Don't stop, hustle.
Let me guess. I bet you get them between the lines, they'll talk, won't they? I guarantee you they will. Guys, tell me what it'll be to be a successful season at Desert this year.
Just grind. I mean, we want to compete in every game we have. It's basically us going into this season. We just want to compete. Like Coach said, that's basically all mine is. I just want to compete and have a good year.
Take it day by day.
Day by day?
Game by game.
You're not going to guarantee any state championships?
No, not
Conference championships? All right, let's get the other two guys in here.
Brad, up next we got Cole Hunt, senior offensive and defensive line.
All right.
And Chandler Dobbins.
Is there a buffet at Desart?
No, sir.
No? Probably because of you two.
That's right.
Probably because of you two. You guys are good-sized kids. You know, last year, did you both start on the offensive line last year?
Yes, sir.
I will give you lots of compliments. From what I saw against Mark Tree, again, I felt like you guys were so physical that night. You guys you demolished them on the offensive line. You guys were in the backfield, or the defensive line. You were in the backfield, but the offensive line, y'all got to push all night long, and you guys really did a good job. So I got to give y'all a lot of kudos for that night. And that was the night that we saw. So how do you carry that over to this year?
I think you need to realize it's about the brotherhood. I don't do it for me. I do it for this man right here. I do it for everybody else. I do it for the coaches. I do it for the community and those around me.
I mean, we have a passion about ourselves at Desark, so I mean, I feel like it's not going to be hard for us to bring over the same juice, the same energy that we had last year.
I like it.
My boys, we're going to get it done.
Yes, sir.
You guys got put out by the state champions last year. A pretty good ball game, and that was a good Conway Christian team. Can you guys take the next step, take off what you built from last year, and build on it and do something good this year? Can you do that?
Yes,
I
sir.
believe we already are. I think that we've got a new D-line. I mean, our offensive line is bigger. We're looking good in the backfield, so I got high hopes for this year. It's looking good.
We got a lot of returning players, a lot of experience. I think we're only going to improve from here.
Tell us who you block for. Tell us about those guys.
Well, Gabe Berry over there, that's my boy right there.
Yeah.
I'll block anybody for him. And
There
Kane
you go.
Childers right there. He's scrawny, but he's fast.
Yeah, okay. All right. And what's the quarterback's name?
Hudson Goodman.
Hudson Goodman. Hudson had a good game as a sophomore against
yes, sir, he did.
Mark Tree that night. You guys, the offense, I was so impressed with the physicality of the offense. But then you put Goodman in there, he looks like a fullback, taking snaps. I mean, you guys are a load. Your guys are a load to handle. And I can tell you, if you're good on that offensive line like you were this last year, y'all going to be all right.
Yes, sir.
It'll be a successful season at Desark if.
I feel like we have to you said we was physical. I feel like we can be more physical.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to be lower on our blocks on offense, and on defense we need to do a better job of getting our hands on them and getting off and getting to the back of the carriers.
Yeah, second level.
Because they're fast.
There you
like
go.
you said, they run like 4.4s.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, sir. We just gotta be in it. We gotta lock in. We gotta remember what we're playing for. Remember where we come from. Do it for the hometown. Do it for the community.
Well, we talk about people that you have to play, but they have to play Desark, right?
Yes, sir.
They have to play Desark. All right, guys. Congratulations! I know y'all are gonna have a good year this year,
Yes, sir.
and I think we're just gonna keep it rolling, right? We're gonna bring Randy back in here. Thank you, Desart, for coming in. Appreciate it, Coach Smith. We'll be talking to you, okay? All right, Coach Price, come on in here, man. We're trying to get caught up. We're getting close. Getting close. We also would like to thank Merchants and Planners Bank of Clarendon for being a regional sponsor, along with Russellville Nursing and Rehabilitation Center. And we've got Coach Josh Price here, Stuttgart. You've been in Stuttgart a while now.
This will be year 10. I was at Dardanelle for 9, so this will be the new record, I guess.
Wow. That time flies, man.
It does.
Time flies. You've been head coach now. This is your 19th year as head coach. Tell us about what's going on at Stuttgart.
Great things are happening at Stuttgart, not just in the football program, but we've got a brand new arena, brand new baseball and softball complex there right on campus. As far as Class 4A goes, I don't think there's anybody that has better facilities than we do at this point. So there may be some as good, but with all of our stuff right there on top of each other, it's just super pretty and real nice. So, football-wise, we were very disappointed in the 5-5 season last year, not making the playoffs. Down in Stuttgart, I've been quoted as saying this, and everybody knows this. We expect to play over Thanksgiving and see what happens.
Yeah, that doesn't work down there. I'm from
So,
Des Arcs, so I know y'all's tradition
so
too.
we're trying to get back to that level, and hopefully this group of kids can do it this year.
I know you didn't bring him with you, but you got a son playing quarterback. Is he a junior this year?
He's a junior, yep.
He's had some success at quarterback. Tell us a little bit about him.
Just a very smart player. Went to team camp today and probably snapped the ball 150 times. He didn't even put it in jeopardy or didn't turn it over any and those kind of deals. So if he can continue to do that, he's going to make those athletic plays that he's capable of doing. But I tell him just to be a bus driver. Just drive us down the field, take care of. And just so many things. He's been going to quarterback camp with me since he was in kindergarten and just knows the game so well. And he's a student of it and he works real hard. And it's an odd situation. I thought it would be a little different when he was moving up playing quarterback, but I get more joy out of watching the film on Saturday and Sunday than I do on Friday nights, because on Friday nights you got to worry about the pass protection or did the receiver run the correct route or did the running back go the right way. So when you just get to sit down and watch the game, it becomes a little more enjoyable as a parent.
Saturday you can be the dad, right?
Well, as a coach, there's a certain level of just, out there. The emotions are high no matter what. And so I know that has to be part of that dynamic. So how do you handle that father-son on Friday night?
Well, he's been able to wear a butt shoe for a long time. So when he gets out of high school, if he gets to go play college football, that's one great thing. I'll be able to tell college coaches, you can chew his butt out all you want. It is not going to bother him. So, but that's the big thing, too. You got to be like a duck at quarterback. You just got to roll off your back and go on to the next play. I've heard a lot of people say that's how they evaluate quarterbacks. It's not when they're rolling around throwing great passes and doing those things. It's what do you do after you throw an interception?
After you make a bad play,
so
what's your next one?
Those are some of the things that he's learning and doing a good job of. And that's the thing, too, that I get across to people. Not only am I the head coach, but my son's on the team, so I want us to win double more than anybody else. It's
right.
a really, really big thing for me for us to have a successful season and a winning record and make the playoffs. And, a fun fact about me that a lot of people don't know, I never won a playoff game until I was a high school coach. I went 0-3 in high school and 0-1 in college. So that's a big thing that I want for my own son and for our football program to win a football game, a home playoff football game.
You guys didn't win it at Tech. Y'all didn't win it.
No, we had to go to Carson Newman, and they were unreal.
Right, yeah, they were.
What year was that?
Yeah.
99.
I was in Russellville at that time.
So I'm trying to think. Now, you got my mind turning now on that, because I remember how good y'all were at Tech, that 2-year run that you had there at quarterback. Trying to think here. What was it that happened there at UCA? There was something.
We went
weird.
to UCA week 10, and they were ranked number 5, and we were ranked number 6, and the top 4 went, and we beat them pretty handily, and they went.
That's it.
And our parents because I hated that rivalry went away when they went D1 AA. But boy, the UCA and Tech it was like Stuttgart and DeWitt. They hated each other. There was no love lost. There was things painted purple all over Russellville and things painted green all over Conway, and but that was one of the greatest things of my playing careers. I never lost to those clowns. So
tell us how you really feel.
There you go.
All right, tell us about just what you got lined up this year. 4A8, tough conference. You talked about DeWitt, Warren, Star City, Hamburg, Crossit. That's a loaded lineup. And then I look at your non-conference, and you've got Malvern and Central Arkansas Christian Lone Oak, and you scrimmage Whitehall.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough run. I think somebody telling me on the way up here we play 7 of the top 20 ranked preseason 4A teams in the state. So it's a pretty good gauntlet. You know, we feel like we're going to have a better football team. We return 8 on defense and 7 on offense. But what does that mean wins and losses wise? You know, I mean, because you're looking at some of those. Monticello thinks they're going to be as good as they've been. Hamburg does. Obviously, Warren's always got a good football team. Malvern and Lone Oak think they have very good football teams coming back. So it's going to be a challenge for our kids. And because of scheduling, I didn't want to lose anybody. We only have 4 home games. I'm on the road 6 of those games. So it's going to take a lot of maturity by our kids and a lot of work by our coaches. The positive also is that we have 20 seniors. That's the most I've ever had. So, you know, we've got – it's crazy in Stuttgart, Arkansas. We've got 59 kids out on the high school football team.
That's a pretty good size team.
So that's a good thing to have, and hopefully we don't have hardly any of them going both ways.
Too bad you ain't got more at home early in the season. I know how the mosquitoes are down there. We've talked about that. It's a good home field advantage for a lot of teams.
No doubt. You know, when it gets the worst, I can't remember what year it was, but it got real warm up in the 80s about late October, and they'd quit spraying. Oh, it was brutal.
Rad.
Brutal.
Oh, yeah, for
sure.
sure.
Those teams that come out of the hills, they don't got no idea.
No idea. I love it when people around BB or Cabot say, oh, these mosquitoes are terrible. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
You don't even know, no idea.
No clue.
That's funny. All right, tell us who you got with you here.
I brought 2 seniors with me, 2 of our team captains elected by their peers. QT Johnson starts at wide receiver for us. He had 10 touchdown receptions in 7 weeks last year before he broke his arm on one of those touchdowns against Monticello. Dagan Duncan is the starter for us on the O-line and then plays some D-line as well. Kind of a backup there, but he can play there if we need him. Both these kids are great kids, good football players, and do a good job of leading our team.
All right, well, let's bring them in here.
All right.
It's like drinking through a fire hose right now. We've been trying to get us caught back up after that rainstorm. Stuttgart Ricebirds play some good football down there.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about what it's like to play for a team like Stuttgart.
I mean, it's just an honor, you know, like the whole community, they love football and, you know, just playing on that field like that underneath all the fans and all the support, it's amazing. And so we just try to give it our best every week. You know, we put the work in, day in and day out to show them what we got.
I also love our fan base. Like, they go so hard for us every Friday night.
Yeah.
Also, like all the booster clubs, fundraisers, like everything. Like I like it a lot.
I mean, it's something, isn't it? Everybody comes together on Friday night, pulling together. You know, you may not like your neighbor, but on Friday night you're gonna go watch a football game together, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
It's something to behold. That Friday night football in Arkansas is something. It's real. It's nice.
Yes,
I want to know on this schedule here, who would you like to? What's the most important win on the schedule?
D-Witt. Absolutely D-Witt.
Yeah, D-Witt. They got a pretty good player over there, Corey Graham. He ain't too bad.
He's real good, yes, sir.
Well, they've got a lot of good players over there, but Corey Graham is definitely one of them.
Yes, sir.
When you see a guy like Corey Graham, you guys play Warren, you play Star City, Monticello. You guys see a lot of guys that can come out and play. I mean, how do you match up? How do you prepare yourself for that type of game?
We just got to stay tall, you know. We got to be tough mentally and physically. Going into practice all week, we just gotta be confident first, definitely, because you know we see all that talent. We saw AJ last year for Warren, big guy. He's going to Arkansas.
Yeah,
like you said, we got Corey. Like those guys are strong and physical, so we got to keep each other going week in and week out. So
yeah, and I'll say just stay on our A game, keep our heads like clear, like all week. Going to practice, recovery, eating good, drinking water. I'll just say, just stay fully in.
How do you become one of the 5 that make the playoffs out of the 4A8? I mean, that's a good conference there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good teams in it, night in and night out, every Friday night. You got to bring that A game, and you know, going back and looking at your schedule here, you know, you lost a tough one to Hamburg. You lost to Warren last year. DeWitt, Helena. How do you change that game? How do you flip that script?
We got to be more disciplined for sure in our practices too. We can't be lazy. all year. We just got to keep going. Like, we started off strong last year. I want to say 2-0, and then we played Malvern at home, and we lost a tough one that we should have won for sure. And then obviously we just got unlucky in that mud bowl with Helena. Our defense wasn't on our A game, and we couldn't throw the ball for sure like we wanted to with Kane back there, Yeah. So it was unfortunate throughout most of the year, and obviously all the talent we faced, I guess we just weren't prepared. But this year we're coming for it all. We want to be the best, and we want to show everybody that.
Well, looking at this, you were 3-4 in conference, which usually means that you're one game away from making the playoffs.
Yes,
so
sir.
if you had won the Hamburg game, Warren, DeWitt, Star City, well, you beat Star City or Helena, you would have made the playoffs. So it's not like you're that far away from it. So what is it that you do this year to get over that hump? The little game, the 2-point game. It comes down to the very end of the game. How do you win those games?
I would say just fixing a lot of mental errors and keep our heads in the game to just come out on top and actually just do our best and
So mistakes in the first quarter add up. Mistakes in the second quarter add up. Little mistakes here, little mistakes there add up to the point that you get to that final score. It's not that last mistake that gets you. It's the ones that add up. All right, I want to ask you this question. I've been asking everybody as we go here. It will be a successful season at Stuttgart if
we win a playoff game, for sure.
Yeah.
It's I haven't won a playoff game my whole high school career. We went to Gravette my 10th grade year. Was not good there, and then last year obviously we didn't even make the playoffs. So I'd like to be successful, to just give it our best, show everybody that we're the best, and like Coach Price said, play all into Thanksgiving, because I've never got to experience that, and it'd be an honor to.
Yep.
Also, I agree with Dagan. I would like to win a playoff game. I mean, I had moved up my 10th grade year, and we played. I think we played CrossFit. And we had got that playoff win. I think it was Cedric's senior year, and we got that win. But also, I just want us to keep our heads in the game and just strive to be the best that we can. So
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate Stuttgart for coming in. Thank you, Coach Price, for taking the time to come out. And I don't see anybody out there right now. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to wait for the next team to come in. You've been watching the HomeTown Sports Volume 2, Arkansas Sports Network Media Day, and we'll be back in just a moment.
It's so hot, you're going to think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not going to believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.
All right, welcome back. We can use people that have hair, but
right. But what's the fun in that?
Right. You got Chad Carpenter with us here. He is pastor of First Assembly of God in Jacksonville. That's a new thing.
That's right.
But
been there about a month so far. Yeah.
But he's also an old broadcaster as well. Should I say it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
the ugly uncle. The ugly. If you followed Hogville at all, the ugly uncle. This is the guy.
You know, when Hogville was pretty small back then, nobody was doing practice reports, and I moved to Northwest Arkansas, and I didn't even mean to start it. I just went to practice. Practices were open back then, and so I would just come back and say, "Hey, here's what I saw at practice today," and pretty soon it became a thing, and then everybody started doing it, and then all of a sudden coaches started shutting it down. So
yeah,
so that's kind of how we got it started doing that.
Gosh, I guess even at the end of Houston Nutt, he kind of started shutting it down, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because of you.
He was the first. Yeah. Well, I don't know, just because of me, but I would say I was I wouldn't say a problem for him, but I'm probably caused some. I was an irritant. Maybe that's the best word to say for it. Yeah.
There you go. I was witness to some of that.
Yeah.
Maybe not to Houston Nutt, but to Jeff Long.
Right. Right.
Anyway, but those days are gone now,
That's
and
right.
you're down here in Central Arkansas, and we're actually waiting on. We got Little Rock Central, we got Jacksonville waiting on.
Right.
Coach Reggie Swinton.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Of course, this is his first year there, and my first year, and so we just want to kind of come along beside him, help him in any way that we can. I got to give a quick shout out for the last 9 years. I was in Pleasant Plains, where Midland High School is, and helped with the football team up there. Was an assistant, a volunteer assistant coach. We didn't have the money to pay assistant coaches. And the Midland Mustangs went to the state championship last year. So
Carson, take this for me. I think this is Central's head coach.
I don't. Yeah. So the Midland Mustangs went to the state championship last year. We were blowing people out by 20 and 30, 40 points, and went up against Strong. And Strong, their name fits them.
Right.
But in the state championship game in War Memorial, we had 6 fumbles, and I think all in the first half. 2 punt snaps that went over our punter's head, and the young guys fell apart. But they have almost everybody coming back next for this year. We're losing an all-state wide receiver that Southside stole from us, Southside Batesville. But besides that, almost everybody else is coming back.
I got to talk to those guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I got something to say to them too. So,
easy now.
No, they're fine. They're all right.
You're an avid high school football fan. I mean, you're an
Absolutely.
avid sports fan. I mean, I've known you for years, and that's the kinship that we've had there, the sports and just, being fans of it all, you know.
Right.
And you're already giving your knowledge of what you got from Midland, and I know you're trying to get to know what's going on at Jacksonville.
Right.
What do we got? Huh? Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Well, we'll see when they get here. What are you looking forward to this year in seeing Jacksonville?
Well, again, I'm just kind of getting used to them. Now here's a little bit of bitterness I have towards Jacksonville. I graduated from Jonesboro, 1988. In the fall of '87, my senior year, we made it to the state playoffs and played the then Red Devils of Jacksonville, and I believe, if my memory serves, they beat us 8-0. And so I've always been like, I don't know if I like them Red Devils or not. Now they're the Titans, and so now I am a Jacksonville Titan. This is what we're here for. So I hope they just beat the devil out of everybody. So,
well, that would help you as a pastor, right? If they just beat the devil out of everybody.
That's right. It would sure help us a lot. So, yeah.
Oh man. You keep up with the Hogs a little bit. Tell me what you're thinking about the Hogs right now.
So I know, first of all, I know that there's a lot of feelings towards Sam Pittman. I absolutely love the guy. I was in the media up there when he was there the first time, and one of the best guys to sit down and talk with. Love him. I hope, and I'm wishing for the best. Now, obviously, I was there during Bobby Petrino era. I was there for all of that, covering the Razorbacks, and love Bobby Petrino. So I got 2 coaches that I absolutely love, on top of my love for the Razorbacks. So I'm not wishing any ill will. I want them, again, to just go out and to beat everybody. And I think we're going to have a better year than what most folks think. So, we have a friend named Vince Beyer from Bald Knob, and every year he predicts 10-0 for the Razorbacks, And we haven't played 10 games in
I
forever.
was about
So
to say,
I don't know.
what happened to
Right.
the other 2 games?
Right. Apparently, we're going to win the first
Right.
10, and after that, I don't know what we're going to do.
I would
But,
say
yeah.
if we win the first 10, we might
But
just.
I'm not saying we're going to win, go 10-0, 12-0, 13, however many we get to play. But I think we're gonna have a good year this year.
So my thing about Arkansas is that, I mean, very rarely are they a bad football team. The SEC is just so brutal.
I mean, that Chad fellow will.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not saying never.
I can't even. All I remember is Chad because it was
Right.
what was his
left lane?
Chad
Morris.
Yeah, Chad Morris.
Yeah.
Boy, see, I have repressed that memory.
I thought you were playing for a second.
No, I have repressed that. I was at the North Texas game where that punt return that they had on us. I've never. I don't hate people, but Chad Morris may be the exception. I may just not appreciate him at all. So
that was a rough.
The Lord says to love your enemies.
Right. That was a rough time. Whew.
Yeah.
But Arkansas. When I say they're never, they're rarely a bad football team in a tough conference.
Right.
I mean, if you look at our schedule this year, I mean, you're talking about, Arkansas State's not a gimme. They're going to play absolutely with their hair on fire. You've got Notre Dame. I mean, come on. On top of an SEC schedule.
We're going to beat Notre Dame.
Yeah?
I'm just going to come right out and say it right now. We're going to beat Notre Dame.
That would be something.
Yeah.
That would be something.
Yeah, I got more faith than they do. So,
right. And then your road games are what? LSU, Tennessee, Texas.
Yeah.
Who else? There's one more SEC road game there.
I'd have to go back.
Well, I know A&M's a home game. Missouri's a home game. Auburn's a home game.
Right. And what's up with Missouri? Like, why can we not beat Missouri? They're so beneath us. They are not the quality of school that Arkansas is in any way, in any shape or form, and yet they continue to beat us in football. And honestly, they're a little bit of a joke, to be honest. I don't respect. I respect them. I respect them not at all.
Yeah.
None.
It's
So,
hard. That one's hard for me to swallow.
Once we get our act back together again, we're going to beat them 100 years in a row. Like they're just not the same school. They shouldn't even be in the SEC.
And you and I have that kinship of we played on the same flag football team as their head coach.
That's right. His brother was part of our ministry that we had there, Chi Alpha campus ministry at Arkansas Tech too. So
yeah.
Eli's the biggest joke about Missouri.
Oh, come on! There are people listening.
Listen, I love Eli. I really do. Because I remember him as a young man, and he's honestly he's a little bit like Elon Musk. I don't like Elon Musk. He's a genius, but he's just weird, right?
he definitely his brain thinks different.
Yeah, and Eli is kind of in that category. He's great. I mean, he's brilliant, sweet kid, but he just has a different way. But whatever he does really does work. It really does, and he attracts great players, and they play hard for him, and so it's hard to bash him too much.
He's got that nerd confidence.
Yeah,
about him, you know what I mean.
Yeah, and he's had it
forever.
Goodness, I don't ever want to hear about Alma again. Just how much he loved him some Alma Airedales. Is that what they are? Airedales.
They are.
Yeah.
They are for sure.
And
He did love them for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, Randy, you gonna come back in here? Okay? Okay, Clarendon's here. Yeah, we want to say thanks to merchants and planters of Clarendon here, as they are a sponsor of ours, regional sponsor, and then we've also got Russellville Nursing and Rehabilitation, and three bald guys sitting up here.
That's right.
I'd looked at that a lot today. There's been several three bald people sitting up here.
yeah.
We all got the same hairdresser now.
Right.
I need to.
North Little Rock's coach, he wasn't. He had pretty hair.
Right.
I don't trust a guy with good hair,
Yeah,
though. Too much a pretty boy for me. Yeah.
This Clarendon right here.
So
Okay.
I can step out, let you guys
All
get
right.
back to your work. But thank you. Thank
yeah,
you so
man.
much.
Appreciate you.
Speaking of pretty hair,
Look at there, he is coming in there.
That's right. It's not good enough that he has it on top of his head.
Right.
He's
He's
got
got
to
it on
wrap
his
it
face,
around.
yeah.
I got to wrap it around. So,
All right.
Thanks, Brad.
Yes, thank you. So just go right here and then come right here.
It's your soda, sir.
Let's see here. I need to fix this shot just a second. Let's move this just a shade. Now, this is not how we plan this at all. As far as how we're doing this, usually we take breaks in between, but just hadn't had a lot of time to do that. And then now I'm just kind of rolling with it. Yeah. Oh, don't say that too loud. Right. Anyway, Coach, get your headset on here. Let's talk some ball.
All right.
So is it just you?
I got 3 players there. They're down the hallway. They're on their way.
Okay. All right. Well, first off, again, we just said it. We'll say it again. Merchant Planters Bank. They're in Clarendon. They have been a great supporter of this regional program. A lot of it's because of you. And so, anyway, I know that you and I have talked a little bit about. Is it me and you that have talked? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Listen. I've had 2 or 3 that have said, "Hey, I got to send an assistant," and I just make sure that I'm not processing that wrong. But anyway, you and I have talked a little bit about how you feel. You feel like you got some good things going on in Clarendon right now.
I do. We've had a really good few years in junior high. Been the head coach of the junior high for this. It would have been my 4th year going in, and we've been very athletic. Had a lot of talent, and last year we were just very young. We'll still be young this year, but we have a lot to build on, a lot to look forward to.
You've always had a lot of talent there in Clarendon.
Yes, sir.
Athleticism. I mean, it goes all the way back to Jamarlin Jackson. I mean, he single-handedly beat Desart one year. I mean, just by himself pretty much.
We always have athletes, and that's one thing about it. You got to defend the whole field on us, and we've got 6 or 7 guys we trust to beat you.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if I had to tell somebody where is Clarendon, how would you tell them to get to Clarendon?
Tell them probably go halfway between Little Rock and Memphis and turn right and go south at Brinkley. You'll run into it.
There you go.
When you smell the pork rinds, you're there.
And you guys play in that 2A4, and you've got Carlisle, you got Hazen, you got England, Bearden, Hampton. Well, that'll be a trip down there. Hampton, that's a long way. McCrory as well. There's definitely some talent in that conference. What is it that you guys do to get yourselves back in that mix?
It's just changing the culture and getting all of our guys back involved in football, and we've done a pretty good job of that. I've got some good assistants that have came in. Our kids have bought in pretty well, and just going into next year, having the amount of talent that we do, I think we're just as fast, if not faster, than anybody in the state. And I've got a lot of kids that I have a lot of faith in to keep building going forward. I don't think this is going to be a one-year thing. I think that we're going to be able to be good for a long time.
If you can get the kids out of the hallways to the football field, you got some players down there. I mean,
Yes,
I know. I see they're on the basketball court anyway.
Yes, sir. We always have athletes, and just building around those guys and getting them to buy in. It's been the biggest change. And
what do you think your transition will be like from going? You wore the headset in junior high, but this is the big boys. This is the Friday Night Lights. What's it going to be like for you?
It's all the same in the end of the road. I mean, I'm going to treat every day like it's the same, whether it's a junior high, pee-wee, or senior high game. I want to win regardless. Our kids are the same way, and I've been the defensive coordinator for the senior high for the last 3 years, so been there for 5. So it's a pretty easy transition going in because all these guys know me. They know what I expect from them, and I know what to expect from them.
Now, last year was tough. I mean, you were there. You saw it. It was tough. I mean, these scores are pretty lopsided, but you have a lot of confidence in what you guys can do there as the head coach and your kids and the talent that you have there.
Yes, sir. We had a lot of lopsided games last year, but some of that is a little bit misleading. We had a few games that we were very shorthanded due to injuries and some other issues we had on and off the field, and I think the culture's changed enough to keep those things from happening. We've done some improvements in our weight room and building on trying to keep our guys healthy and getting them stronger. And I got a lot of faith in what we're doing right now.
You get shorthanded, and when and it's hard to win in 2A.
We got down to about 14, 15 players.
That's
there
tough.
Last year, we started the summer last year with 28, and then all of a sudden one drops and another one drops, and you're down to 3 linemen, and it was a tough year last year, and we had a very small senior class. I've got a big sophomore class coming up that has been a really talented and good class. So it helps fill all these gaps that we've been struggling with for a while. And then we brought in some kids that haven't necessarily been playing, and it makes a difference.
What's the junior high been like with you there?
We've been really good. We probably should have won the conference championship last year. We came up just short against England. We had a really good, talented group. We had about, I think it was 6 guys that ran a 4.6 or less in junior high. And,
Whoa.
for a junior high group, I mean, that is fast. That's fast for senior high.
Yeah.
That is really fast for a junior high group. And, it's been a really fun time with those guys. They've been really hard workers, so it's been a fun experience.
That's speed.
It's lots of speed down there. That's what I'm saying. He's got it there. He's just got to get it out on the grass.
I'll bet you, if I was to say 60% of senior high teams in Arkansas would like to have that many that run that fast.
I don't even know if Desert's got one 4.6 kid.
Well, here's the crazy part is every coach tells me how fast we are, and I'm always thinking, hey, man, we're just not very fast right now. We're just not very fast. And I was used to when we had McAdoo and all those guys.
Right.
We had several guys running on the 4.4s, and we're still faster than everybody else. It's just getting used to it a little bit. And our guys are going to be in that speed again. We're just slowly building it up in the weight room.
All right, tell us who you got here with you.
I got William Wise. He is a junior this year. All 3 of these guys were nominated as captains by their teammates. He was an all-conference linebacker last year. Jake Robinson there in the middle, number 9. He's a senior. He's one of the best bought-in kids I've ever had. Ian Southern, he's quiet, but he was also nominated as a captain. He's a senior, defensive back receiver, and he had a really good year last year, and he's had a really good spring. He's put on about 35 pounds since Christmas. So
goodness gracious.
He's really bought in.
Well, that's good when you get them buying in.
Yes,
if they can convince their friends to buy in too, then that turns your program around back to that culture word that we've mentioned with every team.
That's right.
We can do whatever we want, but in the end of it, it's up to them.
It's up to them.
And they've bought in. They've
That's
done a
right.
good job.
Well, let's bring them in. Let's talk to them a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Let me see here. When Carson comes in here, tell him I've got a computer in that room over there. Hey, Carson, I've got a computer over in that room across the hallway. Can you grab it, make sure they don't lock it up? All right. Clarendon Lions. What's going on? Nothing.
Not really.
Y'all excited?
Yes, sir.
You excited about the new season?
Yes, sir.
What's going to be different for Clarendon this year?
I feel like you got more speed and
you got a lot more discipline.
Yeah, we got a lot more discipline, and I feel like overall we're gonna be a better team.
It wasn't too long ago Clarendon was playing deep into the playoffs. In fact, we did a game, Clarendon and Fordyce.
Yeah.
Sir.
And that was a state semifinal game. 7-6, I think, was the final score in that one. Decided by a halfback pass by Fordyce. We were at that game. So what is it that you got to do? Because it sounds like you got the athletes. It sounds like you got guys that can run. What is it that you got to do to get back to it?
First, we need to make sure we focus on it off the field. Yeah, you go.
And I feel like just being at practice, putting in the work, and that will come on the field.
Yeah. Okay. It will be a successful season at Clarendon if
put in the work.
We all show up and work hard.
All right. Come on in here. All right, you guys are good to go. I appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the Clarendon Lions.
I feel like we're a good team. You got to work hard and just be able to do the simple things to be a good team.
I mean, is that what's going on right now at Clarendon? You think the work is getting better? That's what happened?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
It's just the little things.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me say this. You got a bunch of people in here right now, and I think every one of them will agree when I say this. Everybody's working hard. Everybody's working hard right now. So what is it that Clarendon does to set themselves apart?
We're just different than everybody. We come from a small town, not a lot of people, and you just got to put in the work to be good.
What position do you play?
I play linebacker and tight end.
Linebacker and tight end. Tell me what it will be. What will it be to be a successful year at Clarendon? What will have to happen?
You got to be disciplined.
You guys, let me say this. And you guys know what happened. I don't have to bring it up, but last year was tough.
Yes, sir.
It was tough. So, Coach is saying, you guys got the speed. You got people coming up that can fill holes and roles. So, what does it got to be for you to change that culture, change that well, the losses? What do you got to do?
Everybody was always being negative last year, not being positive to each one another.
Yeah.
And things like that.
Okay. And so you're saying that's changing.
Yes, sir.
Is that changing with the head coach?
Yes, sir.
Coach, I think you got him right now. All right. Tell me, playoffs or not for Clarendon this year?
We're going to playoffs.
I love it. Everybody's going to the playoffs. So you don't have to cringe too much, Coach. Everybody's going to the playoffs right now, but I love it. You got to believe in yourself. Man, have a good year.
You too.
We'll be looking for you. Stay in touch with me, all right? All right. Carson, you ready to come back? All right. We're going to switch out. Carson's going to join us here. Randy's back. Who's coming in? Is it Central? Central's coming in. All right. We got Little Rock Central coming in. And we're just going to continue right at – just keep going. The end is near.
Where's the coach?
Ready for you? Yep.
How you doing, Coach? All right, buddy.
All right, we stayed live, didn't we, Justin? Yep, we're still live. All right. Well, today I am excited to be joined by Mr. Anthony Robinson, the head football coach for the Little Rock Central Tigers. Coach, you coach at a very, very historically successful school that's fallen on some hard times. Yes. So tell me a little bit about how you guys are maybe using the history of that program to build into something that can maybe take it to be a success once again.
Well, you know, me being a Little Rock guy, the history of Little Rock Central is just ingrained in me. You know, when you're growing up in a kid playing little league sports or just being around in the Little Rock School District, that's what you know about. One, you know about it because of, you know, the tragedy that happened in 1957, right? But you think about all the sports history, even in that year, you know, that was a year that they won the national championship, right? And you know that football, as well as other athletics, was a catalyst in, you know, ending, you know, segregation. And so it starts with that. And then when you look at the amount of state championships where they have, you know, 32 state championships, 44 conference championships, 2 national championships, you can't help but want to come in and try to at least get it back going in the right direction, right? Everybody kind of knows what happened in the inner city and resources and things of that nature that cause programs like Central to go down. But, you know, our saying now in these days is that we're going to try to win anyways. And what I've been fortunate to do in the last 3 years is just grow each year. And the kids that are my seniors now were going into their sophomore year when I actually got the job, and they've bought in. And by them buying in, they've had other members in the community, their teammates, their peers starting to buy in, and even friends from other places starting to believe again. And anything when you're trying to rebuild, it starts with belief.
When you get that rolling, it's like a snowball going downhill. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
You eventually get to where you want to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
So you guys play in what has been referred to as the SEC of Arkansas high school football. We've talked to multiple coaches from the 7A Central today. We'll talk to some more later. I know Bryant's going to be here, and they're the big fish in that conference right now. But you also have Conway, whose head coach has won a lot of state championships. Right. You have Pulaski Academy, whose head coach has won state championships. You got Little Rock Christian, who's a contender every year, and you guys are on the up and coming from what we're hearing, and you got Southwest, who's doing a good job as well, and Coach Brad Boulding over at North Little Rock, and so it just keeps getting. It doesn't get easier; it gets harder.
Exactly.
And so, so tell me a little bit about how you see your schedule this season, who you guys are playing in non-conference, and then going into conference play, how you see that playing out.
Well, the biggest deal for us is just focusing on getting better, right? We played a Springdale team that actually turned it around. Coach Hobbs up there at Springdale, man, I think they were 2-8 the year prior, and then last year they come out and go 7-3 in the regular season, right? So we have those guys. Then we have Fort Smith Southside, and we have Rogers Heritage. Rogers Heritage, who we were able to get a victory against next year, but I know that they're growing and trying to rebuild as well. So, we have the whole year we have 9 7A competitions, and then our other competition is the 6A competition. So what we have to do is focus on us and do our part, in which when, my guys were young and now they're older, you hope that they come back with energy and with knowledge and with more confidence that some of those games that we feel like that we let drop, that we can get those games this year. And then, like as you said, when we get in conference, it's a gauntlet. I think out of 8 teams, we may have 5 state championship coaches coaching those teams, man, because, you even got Anthony Lucas over there at PA, and I think he's a 2-time state champion, as well as Coach Reed at Cabot, who he's won as well down in El Dorado. He's won at Forest City. So there's a long history of just coaches that have proven themselves. The good thing about that is that I'm a young up-and-coming. I'm a first-time head coach, and so, I get to meet with those guys, and so it's just a force of knowledge, and hopefully, well, we're praying that we're contenders and we be able to compete, this year and from here on out. In which, talking to those coaches, they want us to be better as well, because it just makes the league better.
Central's better than everybody. That helps everybody. I mean, it's just like you was talking about the history of the school. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
Right.
You have some fine-looking young men right here with you today.
Oh,
I mean, and I don't see any reason why you can't be a contender.
Oh, yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about the culture that you guys are building over at Central. I can tell just from the time you've gotten there last season, I can tell that things are starting to change and things are starting to shift in a good direction. So, tell me a little bit about the culture that you've installed at Central. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is your first full off season really there as the head coach.
Well, last year was my first full off season, but I'm gonna say this year is my first full off season where we had a 100-yard field, where we had access to a weight room for majority of the time, where we had a nice clean locker room, and we had access to running water on a daily. So you can say this is my first full off season where we actually had access to things that most teams, they don't think about. But when I first got there, those are things that we worried about on the daily. And the kids, man, I can say this. I'm from Little Rock. I'm a native of Little Rock. And this is a passion project for me, right? This is a thing that, like, I really believe in, and I believe in these guys because they're me. They're just me in a different time. And I think they're taking on that personality, and the culture is, like I said earlier, and I'm taking this from our basketball coach, win anyways. In spite of what we don't have, in spite of the adversity that we've been through, we're trying to find ways to win anyways, and we actually have a chip on our shoulder because, the funny thing is, no matter how down Central is, when a team comes and beat Little Rock Central, man, they celebrate like it's a championship every time. Every time, no matter how down it is, they will celebrate. So we take that chip and we remember those losses. We remember those heartaches, and we remember those pains, and we're trying to get some get back this year. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about what you guys are going to be doing on offense and defense, just as far as X's and O's go, and maybe some of the guys that are going to make a big impact on your team.
We're up-tempo RPO offense. I came up under Hugh Freeze when I was in college. He was he was my head coach when I was a GA. He was also my offensive coordinator when I played at Arkansas State. So that's what we do there. We have, man, a returning O-line of all those guys of juniors and seniors who have been playing since some 9th grade year, and most been playing since 10th grade year. We have, like, Braylon Henderson. He's here with us today. He's probably like the captain on that O-line, man. He's short in stature, but, man, he's big in his presence there. He's like a wrecking ball when he comes around, man. He sits down, and, man, he's hard to move. And then when we're in the run game, man, he gives us tons of push. We also have Ricky Gaston, who's a junior, which he plays both ways. He's an H-back, and he's a defensive end. But, man, he got a lot of minutes there last year as a second-string H-back, and he's going to help. And then our center, Evan Blackwell. Evan is a about to be a second-year starter who's going to be a junior. Kyle Williams is a second-year starter who's about to be a junior. We had a move in from Texas, from Denron, a guy by the name of Tristan West, who's a phenomenal athlete, and he's going to help us out this year. And then just a host of guys like Gilbert Moore, Landon Kent, got a Gabriel Duhart, who are all just big in stature. You know, we were very short across the line. I think that our height and our weight has went up this year, so, you know, people won't be getting as much penetration as they have in the past, and we'll be able to slow them down on the pass rush.
How many players you got, Coach?
So we've averaged this summer, the first session, we averaged 105. That's the average. The most we had show up this summer workout was around 117. The least we had show up for a summer practice was about 95.
Yes, sir.
That's a big difference from the 39 that it was when I first got there.
Absolutely. That makes it. You can't do anything with 39 in the 7A.
Exactly. And then defensively, we're going to be a 4-2-5 base, but, you know, Ats can do different things. We can go 3-4 if we want to. We got a great addition, and the thing is, man, I'm so happy to have him because my whole mission was to put a fence around Little Rock, right? Keep Little Rock kids in Little Rock. Everybody knows if you keep Little Rock kids in Little Rock, you might have a chance to be competitive, right? And so what we done is some kids decide to move back to their home district where they were at, like Anthony Kennedy that's over there, man. He's highly touted. I think something came out the other day where he's like number 5 in his class at what he does. Just committed to the University of Miami, which is very big, man. When Jason Taylor walks on your campus, man, and is coming to recruit a guy, that's a pretty big deal.
Well, you know, the Little Rock schools, when they're good, Central being one of those, the Razorbacks are good.
Yes, sir.
You can relate. You can put that on a timeline and look. When the Razorbacks are good, Little Rock's good.
Yes,
exactly. I mean, that's just how it works.
Exactly, man. And so yeah, talking about him on that side, man, we have some linebackers who all got time last year. Our defensive backs, they've all played or started a game last year. And then we just have a host of others that can help as well, which talking about a phenomenal athlete that was a phenomenal safety last year for us, Trey Stewart, named Ray Stewart III, actually. He plays safety for us, but he's really going to be like one of our premier running backs as well, and just a highly touted guy. And so I'm just looking forward to those guys as being impact players.
Right, yes, sir.
So I'll ask you one more question, then we'll get some of your guys in here. What would you consider a successful season for your Tigers this year?
At the end of the day, I believe in growth, right? So last year, our official record was 2-8. So obviously, you know, my original plan is to grow continuously each year. Man, I'm searching for 500 or better. I'm just being honest. But I tell my kids all the time, the sky's the limit, right? But if we can get Little Rock Central to being a 500-plus team each year, you know we've changed. I mean, when I got there, they hadn't won a game in 2.5 years. And then even my first year, we didn't win again. So we were on a 32-game losing streak. So obviously trying to continue to get more wins. And so growth is what I'm looking for. So if we can be 500 or better, that's a successful year for me. But at the end of the day, I think we can turn it around and do a little bit better than that as well.
All right, Coach, if you would, go ahead and introduce the first two guys you're going to be sending up here to us.
The first two guys that's coming to us is offensive lineman Braylon Henderson, senior, and then defensive tackle Anthony Kennedy.
Boy, the big old
senior.
boy there.
All right, if you would, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Braylon Henderson. I'm from East Little Rock, and I just enjoy playing for Coach Robinson.
Anthony Kennedy, senior from Little Rock. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what it's like playing at Central and playing for Coach Robinson.
I enjoyed it. Ever since he came here my 10th grade year, I fell in love with him. And, like, I go to war for him.
I mean, I barely got to be around, but ever since I've been there, Coach Rob coached me, been keeping it real. Yeah, he a cool coach.
So talk to me a little bit about your schedule this year. You guys play a really tough schedule, but I'm interested to see if there are any games on your schedule this year that you guys are really looking forward to, maybe a rivalry game or a game that's against a team that you guys just really want to take a shot at this year.
All of
I'm gonna say Southwest, North Little Rock, and I want Bryant too.
All right, you want Bryant? That's a tough matchup there, but they're going to bring it. But I know you guys are too. You guys got some good athletes over there. So, talk to me a little bit about the camaraderie and the brotherhood of your team, because football. When I played football, I would always tell people it's not like anything else. It's not like playing basketball or baseball, because you have to go out there and basically put your body on the line every play. And so, tell me a little bit about what the brotherhood is like at Little Rock Central on that football team.
I mean, everybody cool with everybody. Everybody know each other, hang out with each other, and yeah, everybody really close.
It's a lot of new people coming in, so we just gotta embrace them and make them feel like family on some stuff.
Yeah. So each of you tell me after you guys stop playing for Little Rock Central, what's next for you guys?
So I recently just committed to University of Miami. So for the next 3 to 4 years, that's where I'm gonna be playing at.
All right. What about you?
Hopefully I'll be at somebody college.
You play college ball?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, good to have you guys with us today. Really enjoyed talking to you. Coach, you want to send up your next two guys? Thank you, guys. All right, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
My name is Jacoby Page. I play linebacker. I'm a senior, and I'm from Little Rock.
My name is Philip Bruce Tucker. I'm from Little Rock.
So I'm going to ask you guys the same question I asked the guys I just talked to. What's it like playing for Coach Robinson over at Central?
He made me better every day.
One thing I could say is, one thing playing for him is, how much energy he put into the team and how much he wants us to, do better, even without him, playing for him in general, throughout college and stuff like that, to, just be better.
Tell me about what you guys might be excited for this year. Just, do you think you guys might have an offense that puts up a lot of points or a defense that's going to hit some people real hard, just something like that?
This year, I believe, we're going to be able to win most of our games and probably make it to the playoffs, just because we have, a bunch of key players, like you said, Ray Stewart. Then you got Philip Brewster, I would say. Then you got a couple of, linebackers. And then our secondary, which is very young, but they can do some stuff for sure.
So tell me a little bit about, it's kind of the same question I asked those other guys. Are there any games that you guys are looking forward to playing this year?
Springdale, Little Rock, Southside, Southwest, and Rogers.
And Little Rock Christian.
Yeah, Little Rock Christian.
For sure.
Yeah. So you guys play in a really tough conference. Do you guys embrace that competition?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Because I believe it's one of the hardest, conferences between, you got Conway, then you got definitely Bryant, with all their superstars and stuff like that. And then, all around. So, it's every team has a star player. So, who knows?
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about what you got, you guys being from Little Rock. Tell me a little bit about what it means to play for such a prominent program like Little Rock Central, and just what it means to play for a town like Little Rock.
One thing I can say is, playing for that school, you have, a lot of history on your back. So, when they think about, when people think about Central, they think about, Central High School and, the historic and stuff like that. So, I believe, when we come out there and play football, we're not just playing for just, each other and stuff like that. We also playing for the school and the historic, like that's been throughout the whole entire school.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you for being here, talking to me today. Coach, you got one more? One more? All right. We'll get him in here. Thank you guys for coming down and talking to us. All right, just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, my name is Ricky Gaston. I'll be a junior this upcoming year. I play tight end and DN, and I'm from Little Rock.
So, what's it like playing for Coach Robinson?
It's an amazing experience because, like, each day he wants you to get better. He cares about you individually. He wants you to grow as a person each and every day.
So, tell me a little bit about, you said you're a junior, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
tell me a little bit about this senior class. Do you think that they're doing things right now to set you guys up better for the future?
Yes, sir. They're a very good example of what's like the leadership of this team should be. They're a very good example. They show us, what we should and should not do. They're really good job. They're really good at keeping us in check.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about being a junior. Are you looking forward to being a senior next year and leading the team?
Yes, sir.
So are you taking any steps right now to kind of establish that leadership for yourself?
Right now, I'm working on like leading my team more, like speaking up more around, and like telling them right from wrong more. Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about what the community is like at Little Rock Central and what it's like to play under the Friday night lights there.
It's amazing. Before each game, the team moms feed us. He gets together. We all sit down. He wants to relax, get off our feet. He wants us to have a good game so we don't have fatigue in the game. It's amazing. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this upcoming season. You know, you've got another season after this, but being a junior, what are you looking to build on this season to work to your senior year?
A junior, I want to put up like stats, put up points for my team, like make my team like put my team on a map more. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just tell me a little bit about, like I asked them, what it's like playing for such a historic school like Central.
So like when your school has like a whole bunch of championships and like a whole bunch of trophies, like you want to be able to like build on top of that. You don't want to like decrease like the wins and stuff. You want to be able to like build on top of those. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for coming here and talking to me today. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Coach Robinson, thank you for coming here and bringing your guys. We appreciate you. We're going to take a break real quick, and then we'll be back with the Jacksonville head coach, Coach Reggie Swinton.
It's so hot, you're gonna think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not gonna believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
And we're back here on the Arkansas Sports Network for Hometown Sports Media Day here at Baptist Prep High School. And I am excited to be joined by the new head football coach of the Jacksonville Titans, Coach Reggie Swinton. Coach Reggie, thank you for being here with us today.
I'm glad to be here for sure.
So tell us a little bit about your decision to move on from Forest City and go on to Jacksonville.
Well, great opportunity to get back home. That long drive to Forest City every day, an hour and a half one way, was detrimental. And you know, a chance to get to a program that was trying to win and doing things the right way and ready to invest in a coach and a winning product. And so that was a big decision on me coming back home.
That interstate drive wasn't no joke, was it?
I would say 3 hours a day, 15 hours a week, $1,000 a month in gas.
Yeah.
Would help you make a few decisions.
Exactly. Especially if you get hung up in some traffic. It's even worse than that.
Oh, my God.
So you are all about promoting your players. And
Yes.
so talk to me a little bit about the mindset and the idea behind that.
Well, you know, a lot of coaches are set out to win rings. And, you know, my thing is not to, well, I want to win a ring, but I'd rather, you know, watch these kids get their dreams. And seeing these kids play on Saturdays and get their degree, that's my ring. So the more kids I can see play, and I can sit back on Saturdays and watch them play, that's all the ring I need as a head coach. I'm not chasing a ring. I'm chasing kids' dreams.
Yeah, so tell me about some of the I know that you've coached a lot of guys that have played college ball. So talk to me a little bit about just what it takes for you to put into what guys have to do to become a high-level college football player.
Well, they have, number one, that has to be what they want to do. And they have to eat, sleep, and breathe it, and have to be dedicated. A lot of players say they want it, but don't put the work in. And then the guys that put the work in, those normally the guys that get there, and I know what it takes to get there. And so just trying to bring my experience and the things I've learned throughout the times I played and just, you know, show the kids, hey, if you want this and you show me that you're dedicated and you make plays, then I'll make the phone call. And my thing is, if you ball, I'll call. But you got to ball for me to make that call. And then you got to have the grades, you know, for me to call. There are so many guys that, you know, play well, but they don't have the grades to go anywhere. So, you know, we emphasize school and then taking care of your business, and I'll take care of mine.
That's a big thing there is that you can be the best athlete out there, but if you don't have the grades, you ain't getting far.
Oh, I've seen many of them like that. I won't name any names.
Yeah,
but
you can't do that.
I've seen many of them who, you know, were better than me, but they didn't have the dedication to take care of the school.
You got to be dedicated in class as much as you are in the weight room and on that field. If you're not, it doesn't do any good.
Wasted talent.
Wasted talent, and we see it every day.
Every day.
So, Coach, moving into Jacksonville, that's a team that has struggled a little bit recently, but I know that whenever you go to a new school, you like to change a lot of things. So tell me about some of the changes that you've been making at Jacksonville.
Well, number one, you got to build a winning culture. Kids, you know, when you're used to losing, you're used to losing. But when you're used to winning, you're used to winning. And I'm used to winning, so losing is not in my DNA. And so coming in, just changing the kids' mindset. You can't wear earrings in meetings. Can't wear flip-flops in meetings. You have to be on time or you get punished. You have to do the little things right. You know, we all can call plays and we all can do things of that sort. But it's the little things that helps you win ball games and lose ball games. And so I learned that from Houston Nutt. It's little things, win ball games and lose ball games. And it's the fine details of kids, you know, having to trust each other and doing what's right when nobody is looking, going by the rules that we set. And just, you know, kids can't wear hoodies. It's 90 degrees outside. I don't let kids wear hoodies. I mean, you got to change everything about a loser. And I ain't calling the kids a loser, but their environment was losing. So you got to change everything about that before you can talk about winning a football game.
Yeah, so having played in the NFL, what are some things that you bring from the professional game that you learned to now be coaching at a high school level?
Knowledge, discipline, playing for Bill Parcells. So my philosophy is 3 coaches. It's Ron Calcagney, then Houston Nutt, then Bill Parcells. So my discipline comes from Bill Parcells. He was a no-nonsense guy.
He didn't play.
He did not play at all. I mean, you couldn't be late, or he would fine you the max. Then my play calling, the names come from Coach Calcagney, the same offense he runs. And then how I call plays, how I structure plays is Houston Nutt. And so I put all those guys in one, and you have a successful coach.
That's a pretty good combination.
Which is I think I've been successful on all levels. So when you combine that, I think Jacksonville, I think we'll have a pretty good season.
Your background ought to help build that culture in Jacksonville, get these kids to buy into what you're trying to change them to be. They know that you've been there, you've seen that, so you're not leading them astray. You're not sending them down the wrong road.
And that's the thing. A lot of those kids, they look up to me, and they bank everything on what I say because I've been where they want to go. And so, they talk about me sometimes badly, call me bald head and call me everything. But when you look at it, they love me, I love them. And kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And when they know how much you care, they'll buy into everything you're selling. And by me being, a former Cowboy, Lion and Cardinal, they look at that, come in my office and see my pictures up, and they see that, and that's what they want. So when I tell them to do something, they normally do it because they know I know what I'm talking about. And I have the connections to get them in college. I have a lot of people I can call to help get them in college. So, as long as they ball, I'll call.
That college degree without owing a bunch of money when you get out, that's a big plus.
Free tuition is everybody's mission.
I guarantee it. Well, I'm a finance director at a car lot. It's student loan debt's bad.
Yeah, it is. Hey, student loan debt will chase you forever.
It sure will. And if you can get there by playing a game, then that's how it is.
That's the part I don't get is kids don't understand because they have the kid mindset. When they become adults, life gets 10 times harder.
It does that.
So why not make it easier for yourself right now? Why not do the little things right to make your life easier? But it's like we haven't been there before when we talk to them because they know it all.
Exactly.
They know it all. And if I could go back and bank my hat on what I was taught when I was younger, I'd be a better person right now.
Every one of us.
Yeah, exactly.
So tell me a little bit about your schedule this year, who you guys are playing. I'm sure having come in just really recently as the new head coach, what your non-conference looks like. I'm sure you didn't have anything to do with who you scheduled or anything, but tell me what that non-conference schedule looks like, and then going into the conference play, what that looks like as well.
Let me tell you, right now for me, the most exciting game that I can look at in front of me right now is our benefit game, Central High School. And it's because I went to Central High School. That's my alma mater.
That's what I thought.
And I went there since I was 5 years old, kindergarten. So I've been a Tiger my whole life. And, I bleed black and gold. So to be on the opposite side of Central, who just left, and Coach Robinson, it's going to be an honor for me because I love my high school. But that night, August 22nd, will be the only night on God's green earth that I would not be going for Central High School, right? And then our next game is against Malvern, who has a history of winning and got a really good coach down there. So we can't take anybody lightly, so we're going to, work hard for that. Then we got Lone Oak, who beat me last year when I was in Forest City and beat me handily 34-0.
They got a new coach as well, didn't they?
No, that's the same
one.
Coach Denberg,
Okay.
yeah. So they beat me 34-0 last year, and I don't forget. And that's the only game that we didn't score last year. So, I don't forget.
Don't forget.
And then
He
we
probably
got
knows
DeWitt.
that.
Yeah.
He knows that.
Yeah. I'm going to say it again. I don't forget. And then we got DeWitt, who has a history. New coach, but a history of winning. So our non-conference is hard, but we're going to fight hard to win those games.
Well, it's like the previous coaches have said, if you have a cupcake non-conference schedule, that really doesn't do you any good for a tough conference schedule.
Right.
You don't know where you stand. Kids get the big head. They think they're better than they are. Then they get up against a good team, and then, oh, no, we're not that.
Right. Down, yeah. And so, but I got some kids that believe we're going to win, and these kids are fighting hard every single day in practice, and we're making these kids, get out of it. And so we got a team camp tomorrow at Fountain Lake. then 707 Thursday at Lake Hamilton, and then one more team camp next Thursday at Mills. Then it's time to get ready to really get going August 4th when camp starts.
Yeah, so, Coach, I'll ask you one more thing, and then we'll get your kids in here because I know that's what it's all about for you.
No, nobody wants to talk to them.
Tell me, what would be a successful season for you in your first year at Jacksonville?
Well, seeing the kids smile. It hadn't been a lot of smiling going around there in Jacksonville, winning 6 games in 6 years.
Not much there.
So seeing the kids smile and making the playoffs. When I got interviewed, I told them the same thing I told Forest City in their interview. We're making the playoffs. And they looked at me all, man, weird and crazy. But I believe in me. If nobody believes in me, I believe in me. And I know what God can do because I'm a living witness of what God can do. And when you do things the right way and when you do things his way, then it all work out. And with these guys I have right here leading me, these guys are awesome right here. Mason Ball has offers from Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Purdue. I mean, he got major offers, and they're committable offers. And he'll just be a junior. Then Matthew Goldsberry transferred in. The kid just he's really overlooked. The kid should have a lot of major offers right now. He's a complete athlete. He has an offer right now to Northeastern State University, and he should have a lot more. And then Tory Troder is under the radar. I didn't know this kid until I got here. And everybody told me how good he was, but I got to see it for myself. So he looked good in helmets and shorts. But the team camp we had in Batesville, he had a tremendous team camp. And after that team camp, I said, y'all, I'm sold. And this kid is a star, but he's just not known. So my job as a coach is to make sure these kids get out there because there are certain kids that's not ready for college ball. These kids are ready. And I want to make sure these kids get there by any means necessary. If that means I got to take them in my car myself to go around and see these schools, these kids are balling, and I'm steady calling.
So back to when you said you believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect anybody else to.
Right. And so, some call me confident, some call me cocky and arrogant. Well, guess what? I am.
You got to be.
I am. There's no way you get to the top of the football world and you're not cocky and arrogant. There's no NFL player that I played with or played against that's not arrogant.
It's not even
cocky.
Just football. It's in life general.
Yeah, life. So if you're successful, you have some sort of arrogance about yourself. Yeah, I'm cocky and all of that. Call me what you want, but you can also call me a winner.
That's it.
Well, Coach, I was going to ask you to introduce your players, but I think you did a pretty good job of that already. So you can go ahead and bring those guys over here.
Can we do this without showing their faces? Yeah.
All right, so Mason and Matthew, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so good to have you guys with us today. Mason, I know from following Coach Reggie on Facebook that you've played for him for a long time. But
yes, sir.
Matthew, is this your first season playing for Coach?
Yes, sir.
So both of y'all tell me a little bit about what it's like to play for Coach Reggie.
Yeah, like you said, I've been playing for Coach Reggie ever since I was 5 years old. He the one who got me into football in the first place. And, man, it's been a journey with him. Great coach.
Playing with Coach Reggie, he don't like nothing lazy, everything full speed. So that's where I got it from. Because sometimes, I jog on the routes. He don't like that. He'll watch film and tell me that I need to run full speed. Anything I do, run full speed, even when I'm blocking. That's what the coaches like, college coaches.
Yeah. So since Coach Reggie got to Jacksonville, have the expectations changed?
Heavily. Everything we do from getting on and off the field during practice, from transition to the weight room to the field, full speed, nobody lacks.
Basically, everything we're doing is with a hustle.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about your schedule this year. You guys obviously play in a tough conference, just like seems like most of those conferences now are very tough. And then non-conference, you don't have any cupcakes either. So tell me a little bit about your schedule this year, and tell me if there are any teams that you guys are really ready to play.
Two teams I'm really excited to play is Robinson and Mabel. A lot of kids I play with AAU with the Lions for Coach Reggie play for those teams, and it's been a lot of talk.
I'm probably ready for Central. They talk a lot of smack on the social media, on the internet about Coach Reggie, so
Yeah, we play with our game.
So it
though.
just lead it to us.
We play with our game.
Yeah, you guys probably know a lot of players from that Little Rock area too, don't you? So,
Yes, sir.
you know, you're a guy who's got a lot of offers. Of course, Anthony Kenny's got a lot of offers. You guys probably see each other sometimes. So,
Yes, sir.
You know, that's just how it goes. Talk to me a little bit about playing at Jacksonville. You guys have both been there for a while now, right? So
sir.
tell me a little bit about what's like just playing at Jacksonville as a school, and then what it's like being under the Friday night lights at Jacksonville.
So, yes, I've been playing for Jacksonville ever since I was in 6th grade. Ever since 6th grade, I've been playing in Jacksonville. We have a lot of team spirit or a lot of school spirit, like inside our school. Everyone's in tune to our games. Stands always filled with people. I'm just ready to be able to give them people something to watch and be proud of.
Yeah, I just came. I came in the summertime, like around end of the school year. So yeah, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. So, talk to me a little bit about what's next for you guys after you stop playing for Jacksonville. Obviously, I know, Mason, you've got some college offers, but you can elaborate on that. And then, Matthew, you can tell me what your plans are as well.
I know my plan for sure is to play football in college.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You got the right coach.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, you guys, tell me about what you guys are excited for on your team, whether that's, you know, I think our offense is going to be really explosive, or I think our defense is going to be really good. Just whatever you guys are excited about, just give me a picture of that.
One thing I can say, I'm really excited to play full speed as a team, because the last couple of years we had a lot of individual players, but with Coach Reggie coming around, I mean, one band, one sound, we all together with it.
I'm ready to play too.
All right, guys, thank you for coming and talking to us today. You can go ahead and hand it off to your teammate over there.
Sir,
Appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right, Tory, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So,
Is that better? All right.
So, Tory, tell me what it's been like playing for Coach Reggie.
It's so fun. He looks to bring like the most out of all of us. Like, he is very good at recognizing the potential and bringing it out within all of us, in which that goes with his little philosophy, you know, trying to get us like to get on to the next level, you know. He pushes us real hard, you know, each and every practice. It's fun, but it's also, you know what I'm saying, he likes to challenge us and to, you know what I'm saying, really challenge us to be the best like player and even the best man, like just in general.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about what he does to get you guys prepared for the real world, just as not just coaching y'all as football players, but coaching y'all to be good young men.
Well, I mean, he doesn't let us loaf in any aspect of life, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's, you know what I'm saying, getting to class on time, you know, getting to, you know what I'm saying, the meeting on time, you know what I'm saying, doing good in class. And also, I mean, just how we carry ourselves just throughout life in general, you know.
So I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked them. Are there any games on your schedule this year that you guys are really specifically looking forward to playing?
Listen, I'm hyped about the season, but I ain't worried about any of these teams. You know, we have some excellent athletes, and I'm really excited to you know, I'm really excited to showcase, you know, what we can do this season. You know, we're looking up to nobody.
Yeah. So in listening to Coach Reggie talk about you, it seems like he really discovered something in the way that you play football. So tell me a little bit about what that's been like to get recognized like that.
Well, you know, it feels great. I worked very hard, and I've been you know, I've been working for a long time, man. I mean, that's just it felt really good, you know, to get my first offer, Murray State. But no, I just keep on working and having fun with that. I mean, it's just fun to be good, honestly.
Yeah. So is your goal to play football at the next level?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So has football been your love for your your whole life, something you've been passionate about for a long time?
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about your football journey.
Well, okay, so I began my football journey in 8th grade. No, let me back it up. Padded football in 8th grade, but I played for the Mighty Vikings, but I only ever played like flag up until then. But in 8th grade, I got into pads though, and I actually started off as a defensive end. They moved me to linebacker and tight end. Never looked back, you know. So I really my first exposure really to padded football was you know what I'm saying, blocking. We ran that wing T offense. You remember that? Yeah. And you know, really just the dominance, you know, I just kind of fed off of that, you know, just being able to block and pancake somebody or make a great tackle, you know, that I feed off of that. That's the funness to me right there, you know. And that's what drives me to you know, everything I do, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, what I can be, what I can do to my opponents.
So before I let you guys go, it's been great talking to all you guys from Jacksonville. Tell me what you think a successful season would be for Jacksonville.
Definitely. I'm shooting for the playoffs. I'm shooting to make our fans, you know, our fans are there. They pack the stadiums, but now is our time to, you know, show them what we can really do, what we've been capable of this entire time. Because like I said before, we have the athletes to do it, and now we have Coach Reggie bringing the best out of each and every one of us. So we're finna be something special, Coach.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for being here today. Appreciate you guys coming here and talking to us. We're going to go to a break real quick, and then we will get in the Boxite Miners who are here to talk some football with us.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 52 days till kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
Welcome back into Baptist Prep High School as we've got yet another team. It has been a busy day.
And we've
today.
been busy.
We've been a little
It's been
busy
fun.
today, talking ball. It's been a good day, though. We got the Boxite Miners in here today, and Coach Caleb Perry in here. Coach, I appreciate you joining us here, and bring your team over.
Absolutely. We're excited to be here.
Bring that up just a little bit. There you go. There you go. That's good. Well, I appreciate you for coming on over here, man. Let's get right into it, man. 4A7. What does that mean to you?
Man, it is the best conference in 4A, hands down. You know, every team in the conference is good. You know, we've got teams that barely make it into the playoffs and end up winning a playoff game or two. You know, obviously the top is tough, the middle is tough, the bottom's tough, and so there's not a cupcake week that we have, and so you know you got to come ready to fight every week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at your schedule here right now. I mean, you know, you look at that 4A7, and it's Fountain Lake, it's Arkadelphia, Nashville, Malvern, Genoa, Arkadelphia, sorry, and Ashdown, and then Harmony Grove. And I mean, Arkadelphia, Nashville, Malvern, that's a killer.
Those are killers.
That's Murderer's Row right there. Tell us a little bit about navigating the 4A7.
Well, you know, like every year, it's a week-to-week thing. You know, you got to stay healthy. It helps to stay healthy. You got to keep your guys just locked in because we've got a gauntlet. You know, we hit those big teams back to back to back. You know, and then you can't even let your guard down. I mean, Fountain Lake's tough. You know, we've got Ashdown's tough. They're all tough, and so even when you think you get a chance to take a break, you can't take a break, you know. So even the bottom end of our conference is really kind of mid-level on a lot of the other conferences.
And then looking at your non-conference, I mean, you're getting them ready, right? I mean, Glen Rose, Monticello, and Magnolia. I mean, come on.
That's right. That's right. We got to play somebody good to do well in conference, and so that's the goal.
It's interesting, you know, I look at these schedules, and I don't know if it's just the luck of the draw that we have, and I'm talking about us. You look at these schedules, we got teams that are coming in here that are playing what you would call 8, 9 good teams in a year.
Yeah, it's a benefit for everybody involved. I mean, like the coach said, you can't play cupcakes at the beginning of the year and expect to be good in a tough conference.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you got to get your kids ready, see where they stand, let them see where they stand, mental wise, and then go from there. But it's pretty tough looking there.
Tell us about your 25 football team.
So last year was the team that we had in July that was so highly ranked. That team never played together. We just were kind of snake bit throughout the course of the year. We don't, I don't want to cast any excuse by any means. We did what we did, and the wheels kind of fell off as the season went on. We ended up having 20 starters have to miss games over the course of the season. We had 9 starters out for the year, but the bright side of that, we got a lot of young guys got to play. So we were a very young team last year, and we get all those kids back. So there was a lot of experience. A lot of kids got to play last year. So we have a team full of guys that was able to get good game experience.
How many kids you got this year, Coach?
How many kids? About 55, 60. This time of year, it's kind of a rubber number. We got guys coming and going a little bit, but we're locking in at about 55 right now, which is a big number for us.
That's a good number in the 4A conference there. Looking at your schedule from last year, you had a big win over Glen Rose right off the bat. That's a good team, always a good program over there. couple losses, Monticello, Magnolia, 78-72 win over Fountain Lake last year. Then you hit that Murderers Row again, like you said, Arkadelphia, Nashville, Malvern. Looks like you're right in it with Nashville, Malvern. Arkadelphia was what Arkadelphia was. They were pretty good.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, Arkadelphia is always good. Nashville's always good. Malvern's always good. You know, those guys are deep. You know, we play them in junior high. We know what they have coming through. You know, some of the coaches may act like they're going through a slump, but you see them in junior high. They've got talent coming through. You know, sometimes I wonder if some of these there may be some holding back some numbers there. They maybe should be a 5A team, but I don't know about that. But you know, they've always got big numbers, got a lot of kids out, and they have great programs. The great coaches too.
Big time programs in this conference. Tell us just you don't have to give us any secrets away. I'll say that, but give us a little bit of idea of what we see on a Friday night. If I was to go to a Boxite game, what am I going to see on a Friday night from the offensive and the defensive standpoint?
So, I mean, our offense, you know, we're Saturday morning football. You know, our offense stems from the Gus Malzahn coaching tree. You know, I coached with Josh Floyd for years. Of course, Josh was a descendant of Gus Malzahn, and so our offense kind of stems from that style of play. Our defense is multiple. You know, nowadays you almost can't just say you run a certain type of defense. You know, 4A is versatile as anybody. You know, 7A is going to have more of your college football style. I mean, we've got the dead tee, the wing tee. We got, you know, different types of spread games, you know, and so you get a lot of variety in 4A, and so you have to be very multiple. So one thing about Boxite is we play great defense, you know. So our kids love to hit. They love to fly around. They love to cause disruption and you know, hit on some people. So it's a lot of fun to coach defense at Boxite.
Toughness.
Yeah, toughness. Right? Very tough kids.
You have a unique stadium as well. That's one of the more unique stadiums I've ever been in. It's pretty nice.
It is. You know, the trees kind of help ball it in. Yeah. And, of course, our field house, and there's a little bit of a bowl there, so the noise.
It gets loud in there.
You can hear everything, which could be good or bad, you know, depending on what you have to say as a coach. You know, sometimes parents hear you say some things, but you know, it's as far as having an exciting atmosphere.
And the band's down there, kind of in the corner by the trees, right?
Yeah, they have a bandstand over there by the trees, and our you know, Steve Cross, our band director, you know, they do a fantastic job every year. High energy band.
It's loud on the visitor side. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. It's very loud.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Community gets behind you, supports you guys. I mean, you know, I haven't had one team come through and say our community sucks and we just don't get the support that we need. But you know, everybody's fired up about Friday night football, at least at the beginning, anyway. Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I believe, you know, Boxite has just, you know, there's so much tradition. There's so much history that goes with our school. The people that have grown up in and around Boxite, there's really nothing like it. You know, just the story, the aluminum for the planes in World War II came from Boxite, Arkansas. And, you know, there's such a rich history. There's such a pride and a toughness. Because those old guys back in the day, you know, we always say back in the day, the old-timers, when they had a problem with somebody, they would take them down to the pit and they would lock the gate. And so one of our slogans is we're going to lock the gate. So when people come to our house, and so you know, when you come to the pit, you know, this is business. We're taking care of business when we come to Boxite.
You've had some good successes there as the head coach. I know that Boxite has good tradition. I know going back to the mid-'90s especially, you know, there was a time that Boxite Class A, Class 2A state champions, right? Am I off on that?
Yeah, I think it was 95, 96. Yeah. They went, I think, in 95, won it in 96. Yeah. And Coach Watson, you know, had great teams for years there. And, you know, I think there's a little bit of a down period there. But, you know, Coach Patton came in, kind of brought it back a little bit. And I've been there the last 5 years going into year 6. So,
well, let's talk about who you brought with you. Tell us who you have.
So I got 3 guys. Evan Goodwin is a new player for us. He is an SMU commit. He's a 4-star offensive lineman, 6'7", 330.
He's a little old boy.
Yeah, he's a tiny guy.
Moves pretty well. And Bernie Fox has been a player. He's been with us for 3 years. He's so versatile. He had an injury last year. He's had to overcome some adversity. God's done a big work in his life. Just him having to go through, when you have a, major injury like he had and having to battle back through, and he's 100% now. He's getting looks at some Division I schools, probably will end up getting an offer this year, I would imagine. There's some schools pretty high on him, but he's plays linebacker, he plays rush, he's a big-time special teams player for us. We'll probably try to talk him into helping us out on offense a little bit here and there. I know he just likes to go in and run over people. That's kind of what he likes to do. And then Eli Perry, that's my son. He plays quarterback, plays linebacker. He really plays quarterback like a linebacker. Linebacker's kind of his love. Just being a coach's kid, he's been in this system since he was in the 2nd grade, and so it's just fluent to him. And, there's not a lot of guys on the team that can spin it, that can throw it. We got a couple guys, Sam Combs and Eli Perry, both can throw the ball really well. And so, obviously the guys that can play that position, there's typically not a long line of guys that can actually play that quarterback spot well. And I think him being a coach's kid, just being around it his whole life, having seen it done, he does all the things you want somebody to do. And he's grown a lot. I think he's gained 30 pounds. He broke his leg last year. He had to overcome a lot of adversity. When we played Malvern, it was the first play of offense. His foot turned around backwards. It was a hard night on the team, hard night for mom and dad, and there was a little bit of fake energy coming from Coach Perry after that.
Right.
But, man, he really recovered hard and has put on a lot of weight. So all these guys have worked tremendously hard. In fact, our whole team has worked very hard. And so we've got a really good thing coming this year. On paper, this is the biggest, fastest, strongest team that's ever played at Boxite. So my fastest team that I've had so far, we had 17 players that ran a sub 540. We have 24 players that run a sub 540 on a 50-man team for high school football. That's pretty fast. And then we have 9 players that bench press 300 pounds. So we've got the size, we've got the strength, we've got the speed. We just got to put it together on the field.
How's it being the dad of the quarterback?
Well, it's one of the things that's kept me in it, for all these years, all the hard times as a coach you go through. One of the great things that I look forward to just as a dad, being able to coach my son. Of course, I've always kind of coached him, whether it's been in Little League and junior high and all that kind of stuff, but just him actually being on my team is, it's a blessing. And so he does a great job just being a leader, and he's a coach on the field, those types of things.
And we had, the 4th one today?
Yeah, it's several. We've had several today.
The one, I forget what coach it was, said he's coach on Friday night. He gets to be dad on Saturday when he goes back and watches the game. That's when he can watch the game as the father. And,
that's right.
It's a different – that's why it gets to be different.
I know Chris Dufresne, I know his son is a quarterback for him as well, Clinton. So
Josh Jones, his son Eli, we had him yesterday. Phil Vega, Morrilton. I mean, several guys come in with their sons, so that's a cool thing. Well, let's bring a couple of them in. So let's do this. I need your best talker to be the last one, the single one, so the other 2 can come in first.
Okay. All right. Well, Bernie, why don't you start us off?
I need the 2 that are not going to talk as much. All right. Well, there. This where, however, it doesn't matter. There you go. All right, come on in.
Good?
Yeah, you're good, man. Well, your ear thing's a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
There you go. You're good. You're good. I just don't want you to look dumb. That's all.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Boxite Miners, you guys trying to turn that around this year, trying to change the culture. Not change the culture. You got a good culture there. That's not the best way to say it. But you guys are trying to turn around from what was a disappointing season from last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously injuries are not fun to deal with, especially myself. I tore my hip flexor the first part of the season, come back for 3 games, and break my leg.
Wow.
So, yeah, that was not fun. And then obviously seeing a bunch of my guys go down too.
Right.
Just breaks your heart.
Well, what was that night like for you?
A lot of pain.
Yeah.
You know, so
you got to have a certain amount of toughness to come back from that. I know you're the coach's son, but you can say, Dad, you know, I'm done. I don't want to do this. What brings you back to it?
You know, I love football. You know, greatest game in the world. Doesn't get better than it. Obviously, I'm wanting to play on Saturdays. I got a few Division I offers, so get my college paid for, and obviously just for the love of the game.
So, what are your offers right now?
Right now, Southern Miss, UT Martin, Northern Arizona.
Okay,
So.
what are they looking at you like as
Linebacker.
Mm-hmm. No quarterback.
I wish, but no.
Yeah, you enjoy. I mean, he talked about you as a linebacker, but do you enjoy playing quarterback?
I enjoy it. I'm more natural at quarterback, but I know I have more potential at linebacker.
I got
so.
you. All right. Well, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I used to play DN. When I first started, I played DN. Now I play outside linebacker as well.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Last year, I didn't really get to play as much because I got hurt.
Right.
But, you know, I played 2 games, did a solid job. Hopefully next year it'll be better.
So it seems to be a common theme. Last year, Boxite went through a lot of injuries, right?
Yes,
I know, as he said, you guys, I think, come out number 2, I think, in 4A to begin the season. But he said that you guys didn't get a chance to play as that number 2 team.
No, sir. The whole team didn't get to play 1 game together.
Wow.
We all got hurt before the season even started, really.
Wow. And you're already running the gauntlet in the 4A7 anyway. I
Yeah.
mean, you've got to have it every single night, or you're not going to be able to win very many games for sure.
Absolutely. It's hard to beat a team like Arkadelphia when you don't have some of your best athletes out there.
When I look at the Arkadelphia, Nashville, Malvern, I think, you know, especially in 4A and below, who's playing those 3 teams back to back to back? Not many.
Nobody.
Nobody's playing anything like that, you know. And so that's definitely a tough stretch there. You guys were in those games except for the Arkadelphia game, and I think that's when Arkadelphia started kind of hitting their stride too. Was about that time. Tell me what will make a successful season for Boxite this year.
I mean, I think we're going to be obviously. The main thing is staying healthy. I think that we have the biggest, strongest offensive line in 4A7 right now, and for sure, you know, I think we're going to be able to run the ball down people's throats a lot this year. And obviously, defense, we're going to be able to knock some people in their mouth, you know. So
I got you.
Stuttering a little bit.
I got you. Well, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that. But that was all right. What do you got?
Well, I don't play offense. I think, you know, our offensive line is probably the best offensive line I've seen at Boxite. I think, you know, we're going to be really solid running the ball, but our defense is that's where we make our money.
Yeah.
You know, our defense is, we're all together, we're all there, we're pretty solid.
You know, I have said this about football in general, and talked a little bit about it since we've been doing this. Defense is hard to play now because of the variety of offense that you do see, especially, as he said, in this level where you will see a wing T offense, and then you might see a full-out spread, and all the things that they do to put you in peril, make you make this decision, and you're going to do that, and they're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And it's hard to play defense. So when you can hang your hat on defense, that's a big advantage.
Yes, sir. I agree.
Yeah. Speed, strength. That's what wins football games a lot of the time. It sounds like you got a lot of it.
Sir. Yeah.
Well, guys, we're going to bring Evan in. Appreciate you guys joining me here, and let's get this little fella in here and see what he can tell us. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Brad Caldwell. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, man. I am enamored by your size.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's a God-given blessing for sure.
Man, so Anthony Kennedy was just in here too. And I mean, you walk in and you see a guy like you, see a guy like him, and I'm like, I didn't know people grew that big.
Yeah, me and Anthony go way back.
Yeah.
We've been in this recruiting cycle together for a long time. I mean, I think the first time I met him, I was in 7th grade going to a camp. But just going through the camp seasons, the official visits, the unofficial visits, and then training with him on the side, like, he's a great guy, a great athlete, and I really do respect him and his family for what they're doing, especially his little brother. They are great people.
I've got you here. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to these highly rated recruits. Carson's gotten them all today, so I'll throw a little bit in here. SMU. What was the thought process behind that?
So I've always been big on education. I mean, before I came to Boxite, I went to Pulaski Academy, which was a college prep school for 3 years. I wanted to go before I wanted to play football. I was going to go to the military academies and do mechanical engineering. But now that I know that football is going to be my way to college, I'm going to study business, specifically real estate, so I can really make money for me. But
Sure.
the education piece is a big thing for me, and then really that family feel that Coach Lashley has built in that program.
Yeah.
Just being able to know the guys on the team, being able to know those coaches, and having their families be a part of my family as well, it's a really big thing for me.
Well, judging by your size, you may not have to go into real estate to make a little bit of money.
I hope so, but again, injuries do end your career, so you got to have something to fall back on.
No doubt about it. You moved from PA to Boxite. Tell me what the experience has been like at Boxite so far.
PA was a small school, very similar to Boxite, but they were 7A for private school reasons. Unbeknownst to me, it seems like AA be hating on private schools lately, but just being at Boxite and being with Eli Perry, a real leader on the team, a real leader on the field, just it's different. It's a real family culture that we've built. Everybody cares for one another, and we're all going to put in the work that leads us to the state championship hopefully this year.
Okay. All right. I mean, when you have what they call the best offensive line in 4A or maybe even bigger than that, I mean, that's got to be a big advantage and, a check in that box. When you're thinking about a state championship, and you can say, well, we've got the best offensive line. You weren't around for this. Coach Perry was. When the Dallas Cowboys used to be good, one of the things that they hung their hat on was offensive line, man, and they could road grade people.
Was that back in Larry Allen's day?
That was Larry Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Stepnoski, man, a bunch of them out there. 2A, there's a bunch of them that were just, I mean, they were road graders, and that's what they hung their hat on, was being able to run the football. You have to be able to run the football to be successful, in my opinion, in football, to be able to control the clock, establish that physicality. When it comes down to the fourth quarter, I don't know too many people want to see Evan Goodwin coming their way.
Not many people do, but my piece on that is if you have a good line that's willing to show dominance, willing to show that aggression that first quarter, second quarter, it really does make teams quit.
Yeah.
If you're just driving him over and over and over again, putting him on the ground over and over and over again, he will quit. And that is what I believe our culture in the offensive line room is. We are looking to make defenses quit before the second quarter.
I love it, man. That's a great mentality. I mean, everybody has got to have a good mentality right now. This is the time to build that culture and build that mentality. Well, guys, I want to ask you one last thing. It'll be a successful season at Boxite if
successful season. Looking at it, I think we have the talent. I think we have everything we need if we would just get closer as a team. I want to hang out with the guys more. Like we have this thing we'll go to lunch after practice. We'll hang out as a team. Bernie Fox, the guy that was just up here, he let us all come to his house, have a little end of spring ball pool party at his house. That was amazing. Thank you. But just come together as a team. There's a lot of new guys, a lot of new faces, but just that family piece coming together fully is what I believe that will make this season one to remember.
All right. Evan Goodwin, Boxite Miners, here talking about their team. And, man, we're excited to be here in Little Rock talking about all kinds of teams throughout the day. It's been a great day. You know what, Carson, you want to come in and do the Maumelle part? We'll just go right through it here. Bring Randy back in. You got to get their names. All right, so we will go to a break then. We'll switch it out. Maumelle coming up. Bryant after that. And just hang in there. We'll be back in just a moment.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 52 days till kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
All right, we're back here on the Arkansas Sports Network. I'm Carson Ward here with Randy Pickrell as usual, and joining us today is the head football coach for Mabel, Mr. Bryant Maupin. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right,
So talk to me a little bit about the overview of what Mabel football looks like right now.
For sure. I mean, I think it's just it's a program that's growing and improving year in and year out. And that's kind of the exciting part. When I took this job, I stated that it was like going in a time machine from when I first joined staff at Robinson and just kind of where we were as a program there and where we got to. And sure enough, I mean, that's exactly the trajectory that we're on here at Mabel. And it's just been really fun to see these guys grow and the program grow and the success come, and just to see these guys just get to experience unique Friday night atmospheres and competition week in and week out. It's an exciting thing as a coach. That's the thing I pride myself. I try to bring to these boys. You only get to do high school football once. And, I want to be able to create an environment and an experience that they can remember for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about your schedule this year, who you guys scheduled in non-conference and then going into conference play. If I remember correctly, you guys have a pretty tough conference. So tell me a little bit about your schedule this year.
Yeah, I mean, I would call it the SEC of high school football. I think we've heard that. No, it's a good conference. I really respect the coaches in this conference, the guys. It gives you a diverse look at different cities and different communities, and the travel's nice. We're like an hour the furthest from everybody, so
that's pretty
being
good.
Centrally
Yeah,
located, it's not that bad. Coming from where we used to have to go to Nashville or Mabel used to have to go up to Alma and all that. It's nice to
if you're
tell my wife, hey, you ain't got to drive more than an hour no matter what.
That's pretty good. Hour drive.
So that's good. Non-conference wise, I think we do a really good job of balancing, old rivalries and new challenges and trying to create a very unique schedule that prepares us for long-term success.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about what your offense is going to look like this year. I know you guys are going to have a new quarterback this year, so talk to me about what your offense is going to look like just as far as your scheme and run versus pass, and then tell me a little bit about the identity of your defense as well.
Well, for all the 5A Central coaches watching, we're switching to wing tee, dead tee. It'll be nothing but dive and triple, so be prepared. It's an exciting year for us offensively. I think the key word there is continuity for us. We like to spread the ball around and get our playmakers the ball in space and see what we can create matchup-wise. I don't want to be limited in any way. I think that Coach Perry just, did a good job of talking about being multiple, and being able to attack different types of schemes. I want our base offensive and defensive identity to be able to exploit the opportunities that each unique opponent is giving you within your base stuff. I don't want to be the kind of coach who's banging my head against a brick wall, but at the same time I don't want to be changing what we're doing week to week because it can't work against this defense or this. So having a guy like Levi Warrior back at quarterback would be a first time. Having a returning starter for the year. Last year we had two guys. The year before that we had a sophomore starter. The year before that was a senior that we inherited that I love to death, but we inherited him and only had 1 year with him. So to have a guy coming back and to know that he's still an underclassman, I think is a really unique luxury that me and Coach Bertram are really excited about this year. And it kind of starts with him, and then, up front we're going to be able to move bodies and pull and be athletic, and then we just try to get the guys the ball in space and let them do the work. I tell them all the time the one place they won't let me is in between those white lines. So y'all take it from there.
That's theirs. It's on you from there.
So tell me a little bit about the culture that you guys are building at Maumelle. I know that you guys have been, you and your staff have been there for a while now, but tell me a little bit about the culture that you guys have and that you're trying to develop with the Hornets.
Yeah, I mean, I think, obviously everybody has cute buzzwords and we over me and brothers for life and all these kind of things. And for us, we're trying to get better every day. For me, I think that being a part of Maumelle football should help you as a man create a holistic approach to life. And so, we try to do a really good job. I got to give credit to Coach Pugh. Coach Williams does a good job with this as well, but Coach Pugh's done a really good job of instilling our verse of the week. We started a program called Hornets for Christ, which meets before school, which has been a really great thing campus-wide. My father actually works with FCA, and he comes and does Bible study with us once a week on Fridays. And right now we're studying 1 Timothy, and it's really just kind of a big part of what we're trying to do. That's kind of where God lays out the blueprint for what a godly man and what a man should look like, and I think that there's no better point of reference for me as a head coach to point my young men in than what the Scripture says a man should look like, being above reproach, being disciplined and honorable, and those are the kind of things we're trying to do. From a wins and loss standpoint, man, we're trying to be competitive every week. I don't ever want to get mercy ruled. I want to try to win every game. I want to be playing for conference championships. I want to be playing for state championships. We're working towards that goal. We played for a conference championship last year. We made it to the second round of the playoffs, quarterfinals, Elite Eight. These are the kind of stepping stones that we're looking to do. Each senior class has done a unique but awesome job of taking us one step further.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the senior class that you have this year and what makes them special.
Man, I just think it's the guys. At the end of the day, it's a people business, and I could say, oh, we got 35 seniors, and that's such a great number, and that's all. Like, it's about the guys. It's about the young men in that room, and guys that have locked arms and chose to be here and have stuck it out and gone through thick and thin together. And for me, I'm just blessed that I get to spend these 2, 3, 4 years with these young men and be an integral part of what looks like a blip on the radar of their lives. But for me, this senior class is really special. These were the guys that were ninth graders when I took this job. And so for me, it's really special because these are the guys, the first time that I've really had my hands in it with them for this long.
For long.
And that means a lot, because relationships are everything. And I love, Weston Pierce and those guys when I first got here. But Elijah Newell, like guys, I just wish I had more time with them. And it's great to have the time that I've had with these young men.
Yeah, when you said that, I just went blank. Go ahead.
Well,
Jeez.
Coach, that's all I've got for you. I think Randy had something and he forgot it. But just first, go ahead and introduce us to the players that you brought with you today.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll start with Jacob Henry. He kind of does everything for us. I think he's, for my money, he's probably the best player in the state of Arkansas, if you ask me. And I think he makes plays all over the field. I wouldn't trade him for anything in the world. And then maybe one of the most talented guys in the state in Jordan Harris, who, can make all kinds of plays and is a real difference maker. And so I'm blessed to have these guys with me and blessed to get to coach them this year.
Yeah, I think you said something about it being a people business.
Yeah, talk to me.
Yeah, life is a people business.
Amen.
That the whole part of life is a people business. If you get along with people, then you're a lot better off. The game of football is going to end for most people if their senior high school is over with. So being good in life is where it's at. So
100%.
Look up. That's congratulations on getting these kids in that FCA and program and stuff like that. That's big.
I appreciate it.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and hand it off to your guys. Just whichever two you want to send up, we'll go ahead and talk to them.
Come on now. Hope they don't break the cameras.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Jordan Harris. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. Go to Maumelle High School.
Jacob Henry, running back, go to Maumelle High School.
So talk to me a little bit about what it's like playing at Maumelle and playing for Coach Maupin.
I mean, it's a true blessing. I've been knowing Coach Maupin since I was like 5th or 6th grade, Having a relationship me and my brother had with him for a long time. It's such a blessing having a man like him come into my life, changing my life, putting us out there for real. And he just know the game. He know a lot about football. Been around a long time, So.
Yeah, it's just truly incredible to play with someone like him.
he's just like someone that's just not so on you, but someone that you can go talk to, someone that you can confide in. So I just feel like being able to play with Coach Mob and just have him as a coach, as a mentor, and just as someone that I can look up to is just amazing. So you get the good football aspect of him with a great coach, but also someone that you can look up to, good role model.
Tell me a little bit about the teams that maybe you guys are really looking forward to playing this year.
Every game on our schedule, a big game for us. Take it 1 week at a time. We're not worrying about, like the Joe T, the Parkview. One game at a time. We want to go 1-0 every single week.
Yes, sir. It's not really just specifically, we want to beat this team or beat this team. We just kind of want to go 1-0 every week, and they'll take care of itself at that.
What are you guys excited about with this team specifically? Maybe you guys think you're going to have a really good offense, really explosive offense, or maybe you're going to have a hard-hitting defense. What are you guys really excited about?
For me, I'm a big defensive guy, so I'm really excited about this defense, what we can bring in this year. You got me on the defense end. You got Jalen Harris, my little brother. You got Ryan, London, Jake Clenny. You got linebackers, Jonathan Williams, Davian. You got Jacob, KB. We got guys on this team. Everybody overlooked my meal because, all the transfers we had, people don't know, what we got on this team this year. So I'm really, really excited about the defense.
Yeah, Jordan spoke a lot about the defense, but I'm honestly really excited for the offense. I feel like it's like one of the first times for all of our players that we come back to returning offense, learn the same system. So it's really not really just learning. We're just really getting back on the same schedule, be able to put new things in, and not have to take as much time trying to learn things, but instead of impacting on that. So I just feel like our offense will be really explosive. We got great guys. We got 4 great running backs. Myself, Bubba Johnson, Marshawn Wiley, Muhammad Katouf. Great guys on the outside, Christian Jackson, Jackson Hampton. I just feel like we're really explosive on offense this year.
And you guys are both seniors, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So tell me a little bit about being seniors and having to step into that leadership role, and maybe what some of the seniors have done in the past to get y'all ready for this spot you're in now.
I mean, really, for me, I always been a leader. Really being a leader and on this team means a lot to me. I take pride in it because we got young talent. They look up to us because we can't mess up in practice. Mess up in the weight room, skip a rep, because they're gonna reflect it off us. And so, what the seniors did last year, really, they built the brotherhood. They was with each other all the time, every week. So that's really what we do. We always go out to eat with each other, talk after practice. So yes, sir.
Yeah, being a senior leader is really important. It's just like in previous years, like our class, we just kind of took notes from all these other guys, see what they did right, see what they did wrong, see what we like, see what we didn't like. And it's just like this year we feel like we can be as best as we can be, not just for ourselves, but for the younger guys, the next generation, the next kids just coming up, looking at us, coming to our games, kids on the sidelines wearing our jerseys. We just want to be the best for them. So having the opportunity to have people look up to us is just really impactful in our lives, and we just feel like we got to really take a big stance on that and be the best man we can be on and off the field.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys do to prepare for the season during the practice or during the summer, whether that's 7-on-7 and team camp or whatever you guys do. Just tell me a little bit about what you guys are doing to separate yourselves from other teams.
Really, I would say we're a team that we just go practice. We're for 2 hours straight, but speed training, hitting the weight room real hard, and we get in good 7-on-7s, play against a lot of good teams because we're not trying to be an average team this year. We're trying to separate ourselves and trying to be one of the best teams in 5A.
Yeah, I feel like for our preparation, we have one of the best strength coaches in the state, Coach Pugh. He's honestly probably the best I've ever had in my life. Just getting all the guys a lot bigger, faster, stronger. It's just we're getting in, no nonsense days, just coming in, putting our head down, working, getting 1% better every day. I just feel like that's the best preparation you can get. I mean, you can go to all the team camps, you go to all the 7-on-7s, but it's really the community, the bond you get with the guys while working out when it's hard. That's when you get the better. Going against other teams, that's cool and all, but building that relationship while things are hard, that's when you'll grow as a team.
So this is the last question I have for you guys. What does your life look like after this season of football?
My life look like I'm going to commit sometime real soon, go to college, play high major Division I football, at SEC program. So that's what it's going to look like for me for right now.
My life after football, I just recently committed to Dartmouth College to play football, so just getting acclimated to the a new part of the country. Just trying to learn and be as best I can. Just kind of take it all in. Gonna move far away from home, play football, but just trying to enjoy my last few moments. But I feel like this next part of my life, I'm excited for.
All right. Well, we're ready for the next two guys. Thank you guys for coming and talking to us today. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Just go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
My name Bubba Johnson. Play running back in the DB from Mabel, and it's just amazing opportunity to be here and be a Mabel Hornet.
Jackson Hampton, receiver and DB from Mabel. Like Bubba said, it's just an honor to be here.
So talk to me a little bit about what it's like playing for Mabel and playing for your coach.
Man, just blessed, every day we wake up just to get better, He put us in the right position to be better every day. So only thing we do is just take big strides forward and do the best we can for ourselves, for our brothers, for our community, because they come out here every Friday and watch us.
Yeah, like Bubba said, just an honor to come wake up, grind with Coach Mob, puts us through great stuff. Not even the football aspect, stuff outside of football. Great person to talk to. I can rely on him for anything. So, it's just an honor, to be honest.
So tell me a little bit about what it's like playing at Mabel, just playing under the Friday night lights at Mabel. What is that like?
Man, it doesn't get any better than Friday Night Lights, Even though if you go play NFL, college, it doesn't get any better than Friday Night Lights, being with your own community, being with your own people every Friday night, and them coming out and supporting you, on them lights is bright, but it's real fun. I think everybody enjoys it, Injuries happen and things, but it's very fun.
Like Bubba said, I feel like, in my opinion, Friday night's the best night of football. Everybody's out, everybody's loud, crowds are hype. I like our community. Our community is very well bought in from my mill, so honestly, it's just a great feeling.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys think you have to do to have a successful season this year.
One step at a time. Last year we lost second round, but we want to get farther in the playoffs, have a deeper season. We want to play in December. That is the goal. That's our mindset every day that we come and work in. So,
yeah, like Bubba said, 1% better every day. Statistics have shown each year we've been better and better. So I just feel like getting better each week, each day, just grinding. We go get there.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about what football means to you guys just as players and what your football journey has been like.
Football means a lot, When I was 3, I was in pass because my brother, he was older than me. I love my brother. He pushed me every day to be better, He was always better than me. I still can't beat him to this day, but I'm getting there, But I was in pass, just growing up playing football, injuries have taken me away from the game for a little bit, but I'm back and I'm better, so that's the only thing that matters.
Football for me, been playing ever since I was 4. My dad brought me into the game. Ever since then, I just fell in love with it. So football runs deep in my family, and it just really means a lot to me.
Last question for you guys, and then I'll let you go. What would be a successful season this year for the Mabel?
Successful would be better than last year and the years to come. We want to make it to the championship, which everyone wants to do, but it's about how we work and how we get there, What's our mindset every day, so.
Yeah, like Bubba said, we want to make it to December, but before that, got to grind, put our heads down and work, and then that's how we get there to December.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here, talking to us. You guys are good to go if you want. I think we're going to go to a –
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin, going to a break. Yeah, we're going to break real quick. And I'm Brad. We'll be back to interview the Bryant Hornets and Coach Quad Sanders right after this.
From the hills of northwest Arkansas to the flatlands of the Delta, it's only 52 days till kickoff of high school football in Arkansas. This is Hometown Sports Volume 2, only on the Arkansas Sports Network. Hometown Sports Volume 2 is being brought to you by D3 Auto Sales. Lifted, leveled, and ready to roll. Drive different. By Tyson Foods. Passionate about food, committed to you, feeding the world like family. By Arkansas Tech University. Financial flexibility, academic excellence. Learn more, earn more. And by Metcalf Trucking Company. Arkansas trucking delivered reliably and with integrity.
All right, our final interview of the day. It has been one heck of a day here at Baptist Prep High School. We've got a couple of our regional sponsors that we want to say special thanks to Merchant and Planters Bank of Clarendon and Russellville Russellville Nursing and Rehabilitation out of Russellville, Arkansas. And today we've got Coach Quad Sanders of the Bryant Hornets. Coach, man, I appreciate you joining us here.
No problem, brother. Glad to be here.
Well, I mean, what do you say? When the Bryant Hornets come in here, the first thing you talk about, I know y'all won one while you've been there, but you won more than that while you were there. But as the head coach, you've won one, correct?
Yes, sir. You can turn this phone
That's all right.
Because it'll go off.
I got you. But the Bryant Hornets have won 6 out of the last 7 state championships. When you look across the nation, there's not that many teams that can make that claim. In fact, there may only be one, and that may be the Bryant Hornets. What has happened to get us to this point with Bryant?
Man, it's really just creating a culture that you look for, the toughness, the grit, everybody buying in, including parents and the kids' willingness to show up and put in the work.
Simple enough.
Yeah, you have to have the parents buy in along with the kids.
Yes.
You know, they got to get them there most of the time.
Yeah, and they got to allow you to coach them too.
Got to let them coach them, because if they ain't letting you coach them, it ain't going nowhere.
And that's really. It's kind of I know the football world is kind of going away from that. Everybody wants a part in everything now, and the parents who allow their kids to be coached are going to have the best kids.
You're exactly right. You know, if they let you talk to their little Johnny like he needs to be talked to, sometimes it makes for a better team.
Yeah, of course we've heard from dads that have come in here that are coaches and talked about how that their sons can take a butt chewing a little bit. We know in the real world you're going to have to take a butt chewing every once in a while, and that's what football brings to the table. Brings that toughness, brings that look. You got to have a little grit about you in your life. I would assume that winning has helped make better people at Bryant. Would you say that's the case?
Winning definitely helps. But I think it's the way you approach it is what makes us who we are. Aside from winning kills a lot of things. We all know that.
Right.
But I really think it's the approach and what you do every day and how you teach it and how you teach the kids and how they respond. It's just not about waking up and going and win. Of course, that's the goal. You want to win. That's on everybody's table when they wake up for breakfast. You want to go win, but it's really how you do it and what you're willing to do to get there and the discipline it takes and the willingness to be a good teammate and a good coach and listen, be coachable, and how well can you take a butt chewing, because it's going to come at some point. It don't matter who you are, and it's all from the goodness of the heart, but it's also up to that coach to go back and level with that kid and make him understand that I want the best.
Yeah. How do you show them you love them, but also, give them a little smack in the butt when they need it,
Right.
Of course, that's a lot of, as a father, I have to deal with that a lot in my own home is, I love my children as much as, there isn't anything that I love more than my children. But when it comes down to it, if I need to get them in line, I'll get them in line. And it's kind of the same thing on the football field as a head coach, right?
Definitely the same thing. And you got to know when to take the whistle off and when to put the whistle on as well. Because if you're all bad all the time, then it's going to be all bad all the time, and that's the vibe the kids will get when you're around. So you don't want to give off bad vibes all the time, but you also don't want to give out.
Right.
It's a free country, free world. You do what you want to do, and I'm just here.
Yeah, you gonna run
so
over
I don't
me.
Get fired.
Right.
So it's got to be a little bit of a wall when it's time, and they got to know. And they should be able to know when you're serious and when you're not. You know, when I say that, they got to know when it's go time and when it's play time or whatever you want to call it. If they don't know the difference, then you're not doing a very good job.
So you as a head coach, you step into this program that had won 5 out of 6, or five in a row maybe
Yeah,
when
5 in a row.
when you came in.
Yeah, I blew it.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
Right. You came in and, well, let's say you bounced back. You didn't win the state championship in year 1, but year 2 you came back and won it. What is the weight of expectation on you? How do you handle that weight?
Man, the expectation for me is to show up every day, execute, get better, do what we're supposed to do, be what we're supposed to be, and know how to do it. And that, I think that everything, it takes care of everything else. I don't even think about, man, we got to win this one because we won the last one, or if we don't do this, people are going to say that. I don't really care. You know, for me, it's about making sure these guys have fun, but also become better football players, better people, better men. For me to continue to grow as a man and learn how to be a better man every day, and make sure they get what they need now and later. Can they make it in life when we get done? And I think really that's the focus. I really don't think about, because it's just about to be funny, because I didn't think we was going to win the 6 we won. I never knew. I never went into a season thinking, man, we about to win this one, we about to win that one. Every year I'm thinking, dang, we ain't that good yet. You know, and it's progress every week, and it's a slow process, and you really shouldn't have time to think about, I need to win this next game, or I better win this next game, or what if we don't win? You know, we'll deal with it when it don't happen and when it do happen. If we win, great, that was the ultimate goal. How can we get better? You know, so I don't feel any weight. There's not pressure. It'd be pressure if I couldn't feed the kids, you know.
Right. I mean, that's true. You know, Nick Saban did a really good job of that as a head coach at Alabama, is try to take that big game and put that big game into perspective, and that if you don't win it, it isn't the last thing that'll ever happen to you in the world. It's not the worst thing. Now, when he was on the sideline, he was trying to make sure that they won those games.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
100%. He was all over it. But what he did a really good job of taking the big game and bringing it here. Michael Jordan did the same thing. Took the big game, the big shot, and he brought it here. You know, I heard him say, you know, what happens if I miss it? Well, I missed the shot. We move on. Sun comes up tomorrow. Obviously, you don't want to miss a shot. Obviously, you don't want to lose the game. But at the end of the day, when you can put that in perspective and not feel the weight of that pressure, I think it's got to help.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I just sat here and said there ain't no pressure. All the games have the same amount of pressure to me, whether it means something or it doesn't mean anything. You can tell me we could win 15 in a row and say, man, if you lose this one, you still win. Well, I'm going to be up all night because I didn't win that one regardless.
Sure.
So it don't matter. It doesn't matter. They all carry the same weight to me because it's just the next step. On purpose, I don't remember our schedule because I don't care who we play next. I only want to know who we play right now, who we're preparing for right now, and are we going to be the best we can be. So, yeah, I really do. I try not to remember our schedule on purpose because so when people ask me who you playing next, I don't know. You got to look at the schedule.
Don't even know.
You know, it's made, but
it really doesn't matter.
No, it don't matter.
You just got to go play the game.
Yeah, we're not there yet. So.
Well, I'm going to look at your schedule here myself. I'm going to take a look.
I can tell you the first game.
Who you got?
Salt Bowl.
That's right. That's right. Salt Bowl.
That's just a little bitty game there, right?
Right. Yeah, let's talk about the Salt Bowl. You know, that's I mean, one of the biggest games in Arkansas, if not the biggest. Non-conference-wise, it is the biggest game in Arkansas. Tell us what it's like to be in that kind of rivalry, that kind of just atmosphere of a Friday night football. Well, it usually ends up being Saturday, but just a high school football game.
It's a big one. It's a big one. Really, it's a big one because it's the next one. My guys all know that. But it means a lot to the community. and it's always a sold out crowd. However you want to spin it, like this year is going to be it's going to be a true sold out crowd because there's only so many seats in that stadium. So now it's going to be standing room only. So it's going to be a little bit louder than probably War Memorial will be. I know it's in that boat, but we're not counting the people in the stands. We only found out after the game how many people were there and how many people weren't. So it's going to continue to be a great game as long as we can play that game, no matter where it's played at. And I think it's really huge for the community and the kids to be a part of that. And I think growing up in Saline County, everybody wants to be a part of the Salt Bowl. If you play football, that's what you talk about because it gives you that college atmosphere. It gives you the championship game presence early in the season. It also tells us what kind of team we'll be. How you'll respond to adversity because there's always adversity in that game, and Ben is always a good team, and so it's a gauge for both of us. And I think, and if you talk to Harris, the real goal for us is to play the game, have fun, and come out healthy because we got a long season ahead. Obviously, we both want to win.
That game means nothing in the grand scheme of things, though.
In the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. We're cheering for each other after we play each other, but before we play each other, they're the next guy. So let's get ready to beat them.
Well, we need to clip that part about we're cheering for each other after we play each other. That's good, though. I mean, I wouldn't really – not say I wouldn't expect it because I know Brad Harris as well and know who he is. But it is interesting because it is such a rivalry. People, the communities, not to say they hate each other. I'd say that's probably a stretch. But when it comes down to that field – there's some blood boiling. It's hot that day.
Yeah, but you could put them on the same side in the stadium, and it'll be all fun.
That's
and
true.
then in the end of the game, they'll talk about it.
That's
That's man. Saline County's different, man. Everybody gets along. Our kids will be hanging out with their kids the night after the game, or the night before the game. That's just what they do. Everybody knows each other. They grew up together. They play Pee Wee ball. They go to the Boys and Girls Club. They go play basketball at the River Center, and then they go to Bishop. So they all know each other. It's not like man, I can't stand this dude and I hope he dies. It's not like that. When you think rivalry, it's a real deal, to put it into – it's like brother and sister or big brother and little brother or just siblings in general. It's that kind of rivalry. I'm going to be better than you. I don't care what you do,
Right.
And that's how they compete. And really that's how you want it to be because it's going to be clean at the end of the day. It's going to bring a show.
Now, you say you don't feel the weight of expectation yourself, but these kids, what do you think they feel the weight of expectation winning 6 out of 7 like that?
Well, that's why they call me coach. I think kids take on your personality. So what you see is obviously must be what I'm showing. If I'm showing them I'm under pressure, then they'll feel under pressure.
Sure.
If I ain't under pressure, then they're not under pressure. And if they don't feel that way, then I'm not doing a very good job as a coach. So hopefully they take my mentality into every game we play and push that out on the field. So yeah, truth be told, you're gonna have some nerves, but it's my job to make them figure out how to deal with that and put that to the side and just play the game because it is just a game. It's something you prepare for every day.
At the end of the day, it's just a game. That's true. Coach, tell us who you got with you today.
Well, I got 2 defensive guys, 2 offensive guys. We got Cooper Billingsley. He plays tight end for us. I got one of our quarterbacks, Jeremiah Moats. And then I got Matt Ferguson. He started every game for us last year, corner. And then I got Ryan Young. He rotated in the secondary. He's going to play both safety and corner for us this year. So these guys will be able to tell you, I guess.
Anything I need to know, right?
Anything you need to know. I hope they say what I said.
Well,
I'm not doing a very good job.
I can say for the most part it's been a united front since we started this thing. So let's bring up the first 2 right now. Don't embarrass me. I love it. That's what the dad in me. That's what. Don't embarrass me. Don't act like idiots. What's it like to play at Bryant?
Man, honestly, we love it at Bryant. It's very competitive, especially since we're coming in with a high expectation of winning state, winning all games and stuff. So it's really it's really a big expectation on us, and we really take it good because we had good coaching staff and good people around us in the community. So it's very great to play at Bryant. I love it here. Nah, I wouldn't trade it for the world, honestly.
How long have you been at Bryant?
I've been at Bryant since middle school, sixth grade year.
So you've seen this thing as growing up. You've watched this thing. They just win.
Yeah.
That's all. Bryant football. Listen, I'm old enough to remember when Bryant football didn't win all that much. I mean, there was a time that Bryant football wasn't a playoff team even. So you guys are probably too young to even ask what changed. But, what do you feel? How do you feel about playing for Bryant?
I feel like the community is great. To be honest, it's just like just being out there with everybody else.
Yeah.
It was a big toll in. I came my sixth grade year, Bryant, but they brought me in with open hands. So
yeah.
I was happy for it. I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous coming from a small A school from Camden, Arkansas, and Bryant really just taught me diversity, and I had to take it in.
So what position do you play?
I play cornerback and safety.
Corner and safety. What do you play?
Corner.
Okay. So to be as successful as Bryant has been, you've got to have some defense, right? I mean, you can't just let people run up and down the field and score all the time. So what is it that makes you successful on that side of the ball?
Defense, you got to just be a dog on defense, honestly. If you don't got the dog mentality or any type of mentality, you're not going to make it, because when you're on defense, all the pressure is really not on you, but it's on you at the same time, because if you let offense score, then your offense got to score, and then it's just like a repetitive thing. So when you're on defense, you got to get a stop. You got to just work your butt off. You got to be out there all drives, all 4 downs, and just work. So really, when you're on defense, you got to think like, man, if the game is on us, then shoot, it is what it is.
So far on my side, you just got to be perfect.
Yeah.
Coach Sanders teach us to a high standard, and we got to be by it, to be honest. And we really don't know what we coming out into. You meet some receivers that's fast, you meet some receivers that's good with their feet, and really we just got to come out with a clear mindset and just lock in.
Now, I see this score right here. We've actually talked to 2 teams that had this is 78-72 and 78-75. They going to be any 78-75 games at Bryant?
No.
I like it. That dog mentality you're talking about, what is it that goes into that? How do you get that mentality?
Man, when you want to have a dog mentality, you got to be that person to step up. Coach Sanders, he preached it a lot. You got to have leaders. If you don't have a leader to help you and lift you up, you're not going to make it nowhere in life. People always say don't be a follower, but it's always good to follow, because then when you follow, you learn better things, you learn more things in life. And when you have to have that dog mentality, you got to learn things through the process. So really, when you had the dog mentality, you just got to be face first and everything. You got to just run through people. You got to be out there, but you also got to have a cool mind. You can't just have a dog mentality, be all crazy, because then when you be all crazy, you're not going to be able to be successful, because then everything's rushing through you and it's just not going to look good at all. But the dog mentality it's really a big part of the thing in defense. You got to really be the mean person out there.
You got that mentality?
Most definitely.
I love it. Tell me, I ask everybody this, or I say this phrase, you finish the phrase for me. It will be a successful season at Bryant if
we just keep our head up.
Clear mind. Just coming on and compete.
All right. Let's bring the other 2 in. Appreciate you guys. Tell me what 2-1-2 means.
It's just the standard that we hold ourselves to every day.
I would say 2-12 means a lot to Bryant, but most of all it means like taking the extra step to be the best instead of just being standard, being average.
You don't win as much as Bryant has won on accident. I mean, there's a lot of good teams out there that win a lot of games. But breaking through and winning a state championship, 6 out of 7 times. 7 years ago would make you what, 11?
I'd be 10.
This is the 8th season, so really you would be like 9.
Yes, sir.
So in the time that since you've been 9 years old to now, they've won 6 state championships out of 7 years. That doesn't happen by accident. You're in the middle of it now. What is it about Bryant that makes it to where you guys are right there every year?
I feel like it's how you start, like 7th grade, the development and the coaching staff that they bring in, and how they teach you to be perfect and everything.
Okay. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely say starting out young. I mean, it just all carries over to high school, and then when you get to high school, you got the coaches that just make sure you go the extra step to be the best.
The extra mile. Extra mile. What when you take the extra mile for your teammates, what does that mean?
I mean, talking back to 212, it's the boiling point of water. It's like how perfect or how hot it has to be to get to a certain point, to a certain standard.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, yeah, I forgot what you asked. I'm not going to lie. Can you ask that one more time?
You got to give it your all, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what
Yes,
you're
sir.
saying. You're giving everything that you got for your teammates. You're giving everything that you have. I know it's everybody talks culture. I mean, everybody talks culture. How do you build the culture that every person involved? I mean, what do y'all have, 100, 110, 115? How many kids do y'all have on the football team?
180, 170, yeah.
Y'all got 180 kids on the football team?
It's close to it.
Y'all
Around
got
that number.
What, y'all got 10 JV teams?
A lot.
Y'all got a bunch. So how do you get everybody pulling together? I mean, that's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of things. Like a lot of things have to come together to make that happen. And you know, if you've got the number 45 player off doing his own thing, you're probably not going to be as successful. How do y'all get it all to come together?
I would say like when I was younger, I like to watch how everyone did it, how we did it, and it kind of just pushed me to like want to be locked in. And I think that's kind of goes for everyone. Like when they get pulled up or whenever they start out their 10th grade year, they see how we do it and they want to be just like us, so they can be the best when they're seniors.
Yeah, I agree. That's really good right there.
I just feel like everybody has to buy into the culture, like want the same thing in the end, like the same end result of a state championship. And if you're not bought in, then you're left behind. So I don't feel like anybody wants to be left behind or lower than anybody else. So
Does winning state get old?
No, sir, not at all.
To the victors go the spoils. It'll be a successful season at Bryant if
we win. I mean, it just comes out to how we practice, coming out every day with the same mentality, trying to win the day, not even just speaking towards the state championship. You have to win the day, win the week to be able to get to that certain point.
Win the play.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Win the matchup inside the play. I mean, that's what football's all about. It'll be a successful season at Bryant if.
I say if we do our part as seniors, just doing what we're supposed to do, and then it shows the young guys, like, you got to step up. I mean, it's all yours now. I mean, we can do our part, but can they do their part next year and the next?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point, too, because you as a senior have a responsibility not only to be good for now, but be that example to carry on that legacy that people before you were able to pass that down to you, right? I mean, that somebody had to have a good senior class before them to be able to win, the year before. You don't win too many state championships without good seniors,
Yes,
right? Sir. Guys, appreciate you joining us here. Thank you to Bryant. Thank you to Coach Quad Sanders for coming in here and talking with us on this Hometown Sports Volume 2, Arkansas football preview right here on the Arkansas Sports Network. 6 out of 7 state champs right here. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to wrap things up from Baptist Prep. We'll be back in just a moment. Guys, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we're back here. Final segment here from Baptist Prep. It has been a day, finally. And man, what a fun day it's been, though. Man, I mean, lots of good teams coming through here today.
Yeah, we got to talk to a lot of quality teams. I mean, chances are we probably talked to more than one state champion today.
Oh, it's very possible. Very possible
definitely
today.
did. Boulding and Sanders, yeah.
Yeah, right, right. Well,
he's got a long way to go. Bowling does, unfortunately.
Yeah, he'll get there, though. He
Yeah.
will. He'll get there. I mean, it'll take him a little bit, but he'll get there. But, I mean, I was impressed. I was impressed by a lot of teams that came through here today. Boxite was impressive. Dardanelle was impressive. Obviously, Bryant, right? Six out of 7. But we had 20 schools. Desark was impressive. They were
Carlisle.
Yes, they were good. I mean, it was all there was a lot of good that came through today. 30-ish, 32, 33 coaches that we've already knocked out here in 2 days, and we're going to be on 2 channels tomorrow. 2 channels. We're going to be in Jonesboro, and we're going to be in Camden, Arkansas Sports Network High School on YouTube. So you want to make sure that you're tuned in for that. It's going to be a great day. Thank you to D3.
Hey, thank y'all for letting me be a part of this.
Yeah.
This was great. Thank you to my D3 employees, people, or family that let me lead the job, and they handle it, hold it down. So
yeah.
If anybody's needing a new car, d3autosales.com.
That's right.
We will take care of you.
That's
get you
right.
approved before you get there and make the process simple.
There you go. Carson, anything that sticks out to you before we wrap this thing up?
Just same thing as yesterday. It's just great to be able to talk to so many successful coaches and getting to talk to some of the top recruits in America, really. I mean, Evan Goodwin was here, and Anthony Kennedy was here, and Mason Ball from Jacksonville is a really talented kid as well who's got some great offers. And even though he hasn't quite reached Anthony Kennedy and Evan Goodwin yet, I think he could definitely get there. So, you know, and there's probably some that I'm forgetting. We interviewed so many great players today. But, you know, getting to talk to some of the best recruits in the country, some of the best coaches in the country, some of the most successful coaches in the history of the state, like Brad Boulding, and I'm sure Coach Sanders will be there, and many others by the time it's all said and done. So,
right.
You know, just getting to talk to guys like that is really great. And, you know, we're tired, but we got to keep marching on. So, going to be in Camden and Jonesboro tomorrow.
The Jacksonville coach.
Yeah,
he's an up and
Coach Swinton.
Yeah, Coach Reggie's. Yeah,
he'll have a good career when it's all said and done.
He's up and coming for
well,
sure.
you know, he did a good job at Forest City.
He turned
very
them
quickly.
around quickly.
Yeah, and that's not a good place. I mean, that's not an easy place to turn stuff around.
Right. Well, when what he walked in on was tough, and he turned it around pretty quick there. You know, he's got a similar task there at Jacksonville, but he's got some swagger.
He
so
got some swagger.
He don't lack some confidence.
They have some
at
good
all.
facilities at Jacksonville too.
We had some really smart kids. That one kid that's committed to Dartmouth. You don't go there if you're not very smart.
That's right. That's right. So, anyway, well, guys, we're going to wrap it up from here. Again, tomorrow we'll be in Jonesboro. We'll be in Camden. We'll be on 2 different channels. Make sure that we get it in. And then the next day we'll be at Van Buren and Hot Springs. I don't think that even combined they'd be as busy as they are today.
Thank God.
But we're going to interview a good portion of the state of Arkansas and their coaches and get these teams in here. And we just want to say thank you for making it possible. And like I said, tomorrow we'll be back with more previews across the state of Arkansas. You don't want to miss it. Make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe throughout. Again, let's thank Merchant and Planters Bank of Clarendon for being a regional sponsor, along with Russellville Nursing and Rehab as well. I think I've covered it all of the local sponsors, and I guess that's it. All of our majors and whoever else. I'm tired. It's time to go home.
It's been a long day, man.
It's been a long day. All right, guys, for Justin, for Carson, and for Randy Pickrell and myself, we'll say so long. We'll see you tomorrow with more high school football previews.
It's so hot, you're going to think my prices look like a mirage. Wrong. The prices on these trucks are the lowest prices ever. My trucks look different. Drink plenty of water and wipe your eyes. You're not going to believe these prices. Go to D3 Auto Sales on Facebook right now.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay,
John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot, because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
Everyone tells you to think about the future, but there's power in the process. We value this moment because at ATU, every moment brings you one step closer to what comes next. You've got this. Right here, right where you are. Focus on the now, because our focus is on your success.